thing so I can see. I was updating videos for my music channel.
Okay.
There we go. No, it's still showing frozen. Come on, thing. My music channel. There we go. There we go. And now the notification. I don't know if you heard it on the phone.
Yeah, I just got it. I got mine too.
Ain't that something? Why is Massive Dynamics screwing with us like that?
Because they got other people to fuck with.
Oh, okay.
I would assume so. I hope so.
I am Q. What's up, bruh? Mr. Chapman. But but some of this stuff, I got that, so I ain't really had time to do things that I need to do, cause what with the slowdown. What's up, Rollo? You gotta kind of watch your nickels. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They'll get away from you if you're not paying attention. Like I said, but then that Kenworth is killing me. I don't foresee me. If somebody give me a Kenworth, I use it for trade.
Give it right back to him. Like, nah, it's okay.
No, I use it for trade and go straight over to the international dealer and trade it in.
Yeah.
It's the parts are so expensive, and you have to, for some odd reason, one of the largest Kenworth dealerships is 48 miles away from me, and you can rarely get anything off the shelf.
I've heard those problems. Yeah.
I'm like, hey man, I need a windshield wiper switch for the truck, and they ain't got one. A windshield wiper switch. Yeah, they ain't got one. Headlight switch. Had to order it. Dude, I had to go to Peterbilt to get shocks for my Kenworth. Yeah, I mean, shocks. And I ain't got one of them special one-off, one in a million. What's up, Nicholas? One in a million Kenworth. It's a T800, bruh.
Yeah.
Anyway, you ready, bruh?
Yeah, yes, sir. I'm ready.
I wrote down that one. Well, I sent you the question. Remember
the one. Yes.
Yeah. How? And okay, y'all get ready. We gonna pick Sly's brain. We know he's smart and everything, but we gonna make him. He gonna have to show us how smart he really is. Well, I'm setting him to see. I need one. Dang it, Sly. When I see, I gotta change my thing to my little sheriff first, because he gonna be eating you up today. Nah, I'm just messing with you. You know that. But Sly, why? While I do that, how the question I seen, how is it that these people sell all these records and do all these shows and they ain't got no money?
It's a myriad of reasons why. Let me give a shout out to Leroy Honeycutt. Thank you for the what is it called? Super chat. Yes. Okay.
Please hit the like on the way in, please, so we can move up in the algorithm. Please, pretty please.
So I'll just keep it urban. I won't go into like the white side of music. So for the urban side, when we sign artists, we would tell them, don't quit your day job. Even though you sign a record label, a record deal, and you got maybe $100,000 advance, we would tell them, keep your job for at least 6 months.
Okay.
So off the top, I would say back in the 90s, 2000s, the royalty rates were anywhere between 1 cent to 14 cents per record sold if you're an artist.
1 cent
to 14 cents. Yes. We call it a point. So every point is like a cent, is 1 cent. Okay. So now back then, your top tier artists, 14, 15 points, 16 points per record. That was a very, very big deal. That means you were a fourth quarter artist, which meant your albums came out in the fourth quarter. That meant you were a big deal.
Fourth quarter.
Oh yeah, like all your fourth quarter releases, like early 2000s. It was a big deal because only the superstar artists came out in fourth quarter. That's what is it? October, November, or no, November. October, November, December, January. That's when all your big releases. That's when whatever the budget's allocated for the fourth quarters, the labels will go crazy and spend all the money, and then they go on vacation. Right. So if you had a 10-point deal for 10 points, that's 10 cents a record. Then you have to split that amongst your producer. Your publisher may get a cut.
All right, now what's a publisher's job?
Publisher is the person that goes out and basically shops your music to different outsources of media to play. So
he's
when you
the payola guy.
Yes, to a certain extent. So when you hear the music,
I know that's a harsh word. Payola.
No, but,
I know when you speak, I mean, I get it, but okay.
Well, it was not bad. The only reason payola was bad because they didn't report that they were getting payola. That's where they got in trouble. Okay. It's not. It's legal to pay a record label or a record. I'm sorry, a music station. Yes, to play your records. It's legal. It's illegal to not say you're getting paid for it.
Okay, so in the scene when Cedric the Entertainer,
that's right,
and Debo and not Debo, Dabu,
that's right,
and with Andre 3000, when he had the guy taped up in the back of the car, and
this is where we Get Cool. Was it Get Cool too?
Yeah, Be Cool. Be cool. Yeah. Chili Palmer. Yeah,
that's right. That's right.
Travolta, Chili Palmer. That's a good movie. Uma Thurman.
That's a great movie.
That's a very good movie. And he got him in the back, and because he so that program director for the radio station didn't want to play. So so he wasn't taking the payola. He didn't give a damn. He wasn't gonna. So now I know that might be a bit extreme. That scene is done for Hollywood, but I guess because a program director can be in the way of you making millions.
Yeah, it's all
in
about
a certain market. A certain market.
It depends on the relationship between the program director and the label, basically. So the PD holds your career to a certain extent in their hands.
Because no airplay.
That's right.
Is going to be harder for your, if you underground artist, you don't expect to get no airplay anyway, but you're normally a radio guy, and your new single and the big blowtorch radio station in Los Angeles, the program director say he ain't going to play your shit. That could be the difference of millions.
That's right. Now, these days, not so much. But back then, it was a very big deal. So it's only illegal for them to not report they're being paid by the labels. Now, as far as the artist itself, say they got a 10-point deal, it's 10 cents per record. Like I think Michael Jackson, at one point, I could be wrong, but he had 30 cents. He was getting $1 per record. He was getting $1 per record.
So that's way, but it's Michael Jackson. The album can be shit and it's gonna sell.
Yeah.
Just on the strength of being Michael Jackson.
Yeah. So basically, at the end of the day, hip hop gives the illusion of wealth. That's all it is. It's the illusion.
The illusion, because you're in the Rolls Royce shooting the video. You got on all the jewelry and the big necklaces and the Gucci and Fendi hat and stuff, but it ain't your stuff.
No. A lot of times they get the black card and they'll say, okay, you can
the what?
The Amex black card. It's the American Express Centurion card.
Okay.
It's made of titanium. It's a credit card, but it's made of titanium. This is
really?
This is for upper echelon credit accounts.
Do you have to hold your pinky out when you slide?
No. Yeah. So they'll give the artist the black card. This is what you hear in all the songs that they're talking about. It's just the Centurion card. Also, Chase has one. There's a red. It's a plum card. It's called the Safe. I think it's a Chase Sapphire. Same thing, different companies, but basically it's all modeled after the Amex black card.
Chase Manhattan, them crooked motherfuckers.
Yeah, it's called the Sapphire.
Take a card from them.
Yeah, it's I think it's purple or plum, called the Sapphire card. But they all have their own versions of the black card. So a lot of times they're told, this okay, here's a card, go buy shit. Mainly what they're allowed to buy is depreciating assets, cars and jewelry for the most part. They're not allowed per se to buy property. If they are allowed to buy property, they have to sign or co-sign or give a piece of it to the label. It's rare that a lot of these artists.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Who in their right mind would agree to some shit like that?
Well, what choice do you have?
No.
That's the reality. Is they're you know.
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
well,
like
a lot of these
like,
kids.
oh,
well, and that's
I
the thing.
first got my first royalty check. It was for $200,000 and I deposit. Dude, I got $200,000 now. What the fuck? That don't mean shit to me.
Well, if anyone follows Joe Budden, he gave the story about how he signed a deal at 20, and he basically, because it was a bad deal, he didn't properly negotiate. Basically, the next 15 years of his life.
I hear that a lot. It was a bad.
Exactly. So the deals you make when you're 18, 19, 20, literally, you don't come out from under until you're 40. There's a guy.
This is when a dad is so damn important. And I guess they probably know they can target them kids with talent. They probably know they can get away with.
Because all they care about.
I can't call it a scam because scam means to steal.
Well, that's all they care about.
But it's not really stealing.
No, I mean, but ignorance is no excuse of the law. But
exactly,
you get a bunch of kids that care about being an artist, and that's all they care about. What you would hope they would do is surround themselves with people that care about their financial and business situations. But a lot of times, those people are in cahoots to basically make sure the kid does not financially become a viable, I guess, threat to them down the road to pass on generational wealth to their children and children for the most part. If for people that keep saying, well, you know, E40 has his shit, that's great. I don't know how much E40's catalog worth, but
I don't know.
Legally, we'll take Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson legally owned that Sony publishing. How in the fuck does it go back to Sony after his death? Make it make sense. So if
Paul McCartney has it now, right?
Yes, he does. And they hold long memories. Like Paul McCartney never forgot. You think they wanted the Beatles in the hands of a black man and then pass it on to potentially his family and family's family and black people holding that? The Beatles are, you know how the white folk love the Beatles.
I love the Beatles. I mean, now the Revolver album and the White Album, man, those are constant rotation.
Same thing with Prince. You know, it went back to Warner Brothers. So the idea of you beating the system, you don't beat the system.
I understand the beating, that breaking Vegas thing with the what was them brainy kids from that MIT. The MIT kids that went the card counters, y'all screwed up in one thing. Y'all smart, but them's fucking goons. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All them casinos got goons. They got real goons. Don't try to break Vegas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Scrape you off a little bit, disappear. And that's the way I see it with the mute. I guess that's just me thinking. Because I ain't gotta be the one sitting in the big chair. I ain't gotta be in the big chair. I don't give a shit about the big chair. Because I'm gonna say something my first sergeant said. Don't, because he is worried about me because I was punching so hard trying to climb through the ranks. I say, because I was damn when you're looking at me, I'm a 24-year-old staff sergeant. You know what I'm saying? It is because so I had people was like, the fuck? But he said, when you're sitting in the big chair, you can't see the chair when you're sitting in it.
Right.
That's what he used to say, and it didn't make sense. It makes sense now. Who the hell is that? It's this new invention called a key.
Don't reach for the firearm, Nick.
No, heroes, man.
And while Nick is putting foot to ass,
Bruh, what the? I love you too. But look, bruh, you can't see the chair if you're sitting in it. That I remember he used to say that all the time. So sometimes you don't have to be in the big, I don't want to be in the big chair. You sit you sit in the chair. Don't worry. I'll watch the chair for you.
Well, let me give another example of the illusion of wealth. Let's take Jay-Z. Well, first things first, I don't put much stock in Forbes because I know people with money that you'll never see on Forbes, right?
Yeah.
That's what they give. That's what they feed the people. Say, hey, look, you too can aspire to be on this list. But let's take Jay-Z. Remember, everyone thought Jay-Z was the owner of the Brooklyn Nets.
Oh, yeah, and I was telling people, I said, dude, I don't even think he owned 2%.
He owned I think it's 1/10 or 1/15 of 1%. So when it finally came out, he owned basically a shilling of the team. It was worth about 14, 15 million when he sold it back to them. But remember how black folk just ate it up, and if you argue them down, you were everything. You were a pariah. You were a hater. It just, once again, that's just another example of the illusion of wealth. If you really believe these people are worth $1 billion, now they say Tyler Perry's worth $1 billion, fine. But I'll say this about Tyler Perry: a lot of his monies that he has to himself is because he writes all of his own scripts. This nigga is so stingy. He will not hire black writers to help him with his movies. This is why all of his movies, same tropes.
Think that's stingy or cautionary?
That's extremely stingy. There's enough money to go around. You've got your.
I don't know. I'm just asking.
Well, okay, in Hollywood, the black Hollywood part of it, it's supposed to be like, well, we know we're in this space. We know these white folks run this shit, but we need to have a secret coalition amongst ourselves to further better our existence. Tyler Perry's been making movies for 20 years? He writes every fucking script. He co-writes every song on the soundtrack. You understand? Like, how many pies do you need?
Yeah.
I'm not mad, but I'm like,
yo. I mean, me, because I'm not mad at him making money. I don't care.
Right.
It's just, I really don't. It's just, from me talking without even getting into that, the impact of what he's had on the black populace, especially from the standpoint of men, is negative. But
I agree.
But I didn't want to get into that. So
but, yeah, and for all those that are into screenwriting, you can pick apart his scripts. They're some of the worst subpar, non-imaginative scripts, and it's the same narrative, the same tropes.
Black chicks love that shit.
But another problem is, as hard, everyone knows it's hard in Hollywood for black screenwriters to get their films, to get their screen plays even just looked at. So if you're a gatekeeper, I would expect you to kind of share the wealth. But that's me. But people would say, well, you telling him what to do with his money. No. The industry is that
nepotism.
Right. It's that inclusive that you'd be crazy not to help out the next upcoming screenplay, a screen artist. You know what I'm saying? So, and then of course,
to a smaller degree, Spike Lee done the same thing. I almost say Spook Lee, because that's what I always call him. Done the same thing to a smaller degree.
Yeah. So, the black celebs are just mainly there just for the illusion that, hey, you too can be up here with us with and reach this status. This is Rick Ross, another example, when he was going through his fight in the case, when he beat up the gardener that held a party in his house while he was going, pistol whipped him and everything. He had to put up the house.
That was dumb.
What? I mean, I get it.
I get it, but that's dumb.
So he had to put up his house for his bond to bail out for that case. Now, this is Rick Ross. Now, if you believe the records and the videos, why are you putting up your house for bond? You should have that money in liquid.
You should have that in escrow.
Yeah. It was a $3 to $4 million bond, but he had to put the house up. So why are you putting the house up?
Because you live in check to check.
As they all are.
I can't live like that, bruh. I mean, I can, but if I am living like that, I ain't gonna be all up in everybody's face.
But your job is to promote the illusion of wealth. So basically, at the end of the day, your record deal is just a credit card or a bank loan that you eventually have to pay back. It's just one blank check. They let you, you know, and you go to town with it, but you got to pay that shit back, and you always end up paying back more than what you owe.
Yeah, interest. Yeah.
Another story. I know old head should know this. Cormega. At one point, he was signed to Def Jam. I think it was Cormega. Yeah, Cormega. And turned it in an album. They put it on the shelf. Years later, he says, "Yeah, I want to buy the album back." Def Jam said the album went up in value. It's been on the shelf for years. How does an album go up in value?
Got to be a badass. It better be like
you know what I'm saying?
Sticky Fingers or something.
He wanted to buy back the rights to that album. Def Jam said it's worth more now than it was when we first gave you the money to record this thing years prior. That's not how it works. But you know, this is the game that they set up. And
but there's no but if I own your jacket, there's no trade law saying that I have to even entertain selling it back to you, right?
Right. You can't take these people to court like that. You can't
strong arm me for it.
Exactly.
Okay. I see. All this stuff you're telling me, I mean, I'm just assuming, and you know what happens sometime when you assume, you get your ass ran over by a dude named Suge Knight. But that's what you get for assuming. You get your ass ran over. But damn, Sly. I mean, because certain albums out here, I think we can say that it's worth more than it was when they originally made it, but we can probably pick them right off the top of our head. Michael Jackson's Thriller, Prince's 1999, Rolling Stones' Sticky Fingers, Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon, Led Zeppelin's 1, 2, and 3. Because I can imagine you can hear the low mix quality in Led Zeppelin 1. In the song Whole Lotta Love, you can hear the RCA cable bleed through if you got a good enough system. I can hear it on mine.
Also add Mariah Carey's Christmas albums to that list. Every Christmas, Mariah Carey's her sales for that album go through the roof. It's a timeless.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So this is another aspect that they don't teach artists to make. When we say timeless music, when you hear your music played on an elevator, you know you've done something right. You know, like
yeah, you're right, dude. Yeah, that's why I picked Michael Jackson. Right now, anywhere you go, you can go in a place, go in Walmart, and you hear "Beat It" come on the damn PA system.
Yeah,
"Beat It" ain't never gonna go out of style.
Or you know, we still hear Christmas in Hollis. Christmas, you know, come Christmas time.
Christmas time, and
you know, MTV used to play the shit out of that every Christmas and every December. Yeah, so that used to be, we would teach artists, you know, make songs that will outlive you in your career. Like that, all you need is one song. It ain't gotta be a knockout, it ain't gotta be a home run, but something that coincides with seasons, feelings, you know, things that resonate right.
Yeah, even if you ain't gotta hit a home run, but if you can give me a base hit every
that's it.
Every Christmas and shit, we good.
Yeah. So when's the last time you heard a decent Christmas rap song since Christmas in Hollis?
That was the only one I've only heard two. The one with Kumo D and the Treacherous Three, and Run DMC. Them the only two that I know off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Because remember, that was Dougie Fresh's introduction to the because remember, I asked for a beatbox. I asked my mom for a beatbox. You know what I got? That kid Dougie Fresh from down the block.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I heard the number one Dougie Fresh beatbox. What? That was fresh. But that was a long time ago, bro.
Yeah,
a long time ago.
And unfortunately, it's They haven't wisened up to a certain extent. So the like with the
I think
part
they
in
got smarter because that was Cool Mo D then when he was Treacherous 3 and Dougie Fresh before he even had a deal.
Mhm.
So you was on a movie that was Beat Street, right? I think that was
I
Beat
think it was
Street.
Beach Street, yeah.
So you was in a movie, even though it was only for 20 seconds, before you even had a record.
Mhm.
Dude, really? Come on. You should have this game by the freaking tail. Should.
Well, the game is not it's not meant to empower artists, pretty much. Because you know, your new artists, they surround you with people that work for the label per se, and it's their job to suck you dry and to make sure you don't prosper, but the machine prospers. That's pretty much it. This is why, you know, it's chew them up, spit them out motif. You know, the grind them to the grindstone. It's
Did Curtis Blow have a Christmas song? I don't know. Did
oh,
he?
you know what? I think he did.
He did? Dude, I used to blow up when Curtis Blow first, because that was like, we called that party rap. You know what I mean? Like you playing the basement parties, the backyard parties. Curtis Blow, Busy Bee, you know what I'm saying? You know, the stuff like that there.
Yeah, it was called Christmas rapping.
I'll be damn.
Yeah. But you see the mindset of the old school artists that make music for everything, as opposed to
what's the latest on Curtis Blow? Because I remember you done the thing when he is in the hospital.
he went back into the hospital and we haven't heard shit since. Like I've been checking the IG pages. I haven't heard anything from Bismarck E. He went in for surgery for diabetes.
Smart, yeah.
Yeah, they were saying it was pretty bad. So I haven't heard anything from these two so far yet. You know.
I like Curtis. We wouldn't have Run DMC if it wasn't for Curtis Blow. A lot of people don't know that. You know what I'm saying? Because they used to call Run the son of Curtis Blow.
Well, yeah, Curtis was like the prototype. He was a prototype for LL. I give him that. Like yeah. I think he was definitely the blueprint for LL.
Yeah, because Curtis Blow, he just had this, you know, that and you know that he just had that beat where he didn't need. Some people need a beat to keep in beat. You know what I mean? The like two people that don't need the beat. It's like a musician thing, I guess, with a singer. Some people can't sing without music. Bass players and drummers, because we're the rhythm section. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we actually started off. You know what I'm saying? But
right.
You know, everybody else tend to need us to stay in line. And like they always say, if a guitar player get lost in a solo, don't panic. Just wait on the bass. You know, when the bass player catches up to you, then you can get, because we never leave the groove. You know what I mean? We stay, because the breaks, boom, boom, you know, the Curtis Blow the breaks, you know, that one thing you remember constant was that bass line. In the break, because these are the breaks. Break it up, break it up, break it up. Boom, 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 boom. And you can do all kind of stuff and come and get right back. If your girl steps out with another man, that's the breaks. That's the breaks.
That's a you know what? That's a really depressing song if you think about it.
Yep. It is. You know, but I love that song. That, and if I rule the world, a lot, you'd be surprised how many people thought Nas created the song "If I Ruled the World." No, that's Curtis Blow's song. That was Curtis. I was listening to that in high school. Yeah, you know, and nah, I ain't taking nothing away from Nas, because in my opinion, Nas has one of the best rap albums on the planet. In my opinion, you know, but. And the production of it, the way it's kind of slick. They kind of, I guess the loudness wars were on its way out, but it's still kind of slick, you know. But that Nas put out one of the best rap albums, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
But he done it up. Him and what's his name, the crazy chick from the Fugees.
Oh, Lauryn Hill.
Lauryn Hill, yeah, because she done her part in it, and I think she put her stamp on it.
Well, hell, what was the Puffy and Mace song? Been Around the World. Like that sample,
Yeah, that's
people
Lisa
associate
Stampede.
that sample with Puffy's version. It's like, wait a minute, no, that's Puffy got
Yeah,
it from
been
somewhere.
around. Yeah, Lisa Stamp. That came out when I was in
Yeah,
Germany. Lisa
but
Stansfield.
that's the power of,
Hi, baby, I love you too.
that's the power. You can take a sample and you do it so well that people associate the new version as opposed to the old version. When they finally hear the old version, like, oh shit, that's where it came from.
No,
Okay, yeah. So
since you said sample,
yeah,
do the artists have? I mean, are they right for saying you can't sample my shit? You need to pay me to sample my shit.
of course.
But do it go to the artist or do it go to the label?
Now, okay, so now when you say your producer brings you a song, a beat, and he
Because
uses
what
sample,
rapper in the first 10 years of rap didn't sample James Brown and Parliament to death?
oh, you're right.
To
So
death.
yeah, so the payout goes, your producer brings you the song, the track, and it's like, oh, it's dope. Okay, let's get on it. It's a sample. Now
Mhm.
it depends on who wrote the sample and who's that song's or that sample's publisher. Okay. So then you got to pay your producer because he produced the track. Now, depending on how much the writer and the publisher from the original sample want,
Mhm.
normally they'll probably want 80 to 90%. So guys like Barry White, his estate wants 90%. Jimi Hendrix estate usually wants between 90 to 95%. So out of 90% of a sample to pay, the 10% is split between producer, the new publisher, the artist, and the label. So on the hierarchy of the totem pole,
You
the
got
artist,
no juice.
the artist gets paid last. You're the last one to get paid. But yes, that's how you got to pay the people that created it first. They get their and they name their price, they name their cut. So not only that, you got to pay them out your budget.
Mm-hmm.
So like Steely Dan is probably one of the worst people to deal with because they want 100% of everything.
What not? What am I thinking the right man? Nile Rodgers, Chic,
Yeah,
Nile Rodgers, right?
yeah.
How many motherfuckers sample Good Times?
And
Good
you
times.
better
Don't,
believe he
don't.
gets a check, a
These
nice check
are
every
those
time. Yeah.
good times.
Matter of
Huh?
fact, the Steely Dan story when Peter Guns and the
Mm-hmm.
Lord Tariq sampled Deja Vu, that Steely Dan wiped them out.
It's Steely Dan, but man,
They
you
took
know I
100% of
Steely Dan.
everything. Everything.
Dog. When when Brecker would finally when they finally are, because one's gone.
Yeah.
What is that jacket gonna be worth? Oh my god! I still
Ridiculous.
want to know how much Mick Jagger paid for James Brown's freaking library jacket. Are you kidding me?
And you know what? I'm sure he got a discounted rate too, because they're just like that. They're not going to make one of theirs pay top dollar for an urban artist catalog. Let me tell you how cheap urban catalogs are.
You can nibble off of that the rest of your freaking life.
But let me tell you how easy you can buy into someone's publishing.
Okay.
At one point, Eric B. and Rakim, or was it Rakim? At one point, Rakim was selling his publishing for $250,000. If you had $250,000, you could have bought his fucking publishing and owned his ass.
Wow.
Yeah. Urban artists, that shit, they have lower value when it comes compared to the white mainstream artists. So, if you believe the stories that Beyonce is worth more than, let's say, Adele, catalog wise, nah.
Well, but now does this apply to just urban music artists or all black artists? Because Michael is black, but he's not urban.
Well, we call him pop, but it's still, at the end of the day, they look at you as a black artist.
Really? Okay.
But once you go pop, the doors kind of open up a little bit more for you. They treat you a little different. You go to the left side of things.
28 watching and we only got 82 likes. Come on, man. Help Sly move up in the algorithm, y'all. Come on.
It's all good. I don't jump off that shit.
Yeah.
Man,
but Steely Dan, I'm telling you, I got every Steely Dan album. But I mean, but when you grew up and your auntie married a man that owned a record store, I mean, you know what I mean? You name it, I got it.
Well, you know, the funny thing is when people argue me, when I say this is why professional artists don't like rap music, they look down upon hip hop. Rightfully so. But then people always want to come back, well, hip hop makes more money than any other genre. You're great. You're right. Who controls the money? Where does the money go to? It doesn't go to the black folk like it should. It doesn't go to the black artists. So that's a dead argument to me. Yeah, you can make all the fucking money in the world. Who controls the money and who disperses it and where it goes? So what good is it you being the number one money generating genre for the last decade if you don't control where the wealth goes to? If your artists can't walk away from their deals with their masters or even have a shot to be able to afford to buy a percentage of their masters, then what are we talking about?
God dang. Bruh. I knew this was gonna give me a headache.
But here's the hard part. You can't Monday night quarterback something these kids were doing 20, 30 years ago. It's hard for us to not do that to them.
Yeah, but money is money.
You're right. But even
I mean, at the end of the day, you know what they say, water. I may have said right. Water is water. You know, it's water.
Well, you remember why Lionel Richie left the Commodores, right? You remember the story.
Yeah, I heard a couple of stories.
Okay,
yeah.
So the main one was because he was getting $100,000 a song to write love songs for people. And the little short dude didn't like that shit. And their manager was like, hey, we need more of those Lionel Richie songs for the group. And the little short dude was like, no, we want more. I want to do more Brick House. And so the management's like, no, we need more Lionel Richie-esque songs, more love songs. Mind you, like I said, $100,000 in the 70s per song.
$100,000 is a lot of money in the 70s.
Right. So hell yeah, he's like, fuck this. I'm writing for Linda Ronstadt. all these white artists. The fuck what y'all talking about?
Man, Carole King, but she could write. I mean, we've been through that before. You know, Carole King wasn't no slouch with no ink pen.
I mean, Joni Mitchell. I mean, my gosh.
Joni Mitchell, she definitely wasn't no slouch with no ink pen.
Yeah, but you see, that kind of led to the Commodores kind of. Lionel's like, I'm out. You know,
did Linda Ronstadt write her own stuff for somebody?
She did. Her biggest hits.
Because I know what's her name, the Carpenter chick. She wrote her stuff.
Karen Carpenter. Yeah.
But I didn't know if Linda wrote. But Linda wrote her own stuff.
Her biggest hits came from co-writing.
Okay,
so she had some help, but nonetheless, she could still write. You know.
Good. God dang, man. All right. I'll let you finish your thought before I hit you with the next one.
Okay. No, I'm good.
Okay, bruh. I mean, cause I know you need to catch up with the chat anyway, because I'm quite sure you got a bazillion and one.
I'm trying, but you know, it is what it is.
I like to engage with the crowd.
Oh, for sure.
Carole King's got all the hits. I see somebody said that. Yep, James Taylor. Yeah, he was another good.
David Foster, Burt Bacharach. I mean, those guys.
Yeah, they wrote, man. Yeah, they wrote some good stuff, man. And I'm forgetting somebody real. Ian, what's his name? Ian Hunter, the lead singer for Jethro Tull. Ian Anderson. Anderson. Yeah.
You know, they're still not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That's a shame.
How?
That's a shame.
How?
Yeah.
Every rock group then redone Cross-Eyed Mary and Aqualung and Teacher. I mean, then people like, oh, you hear that? I said, dude, that ain't new. Jethro Tull made that in 71.
Yeah, I still listen to Aqualung, you know, so like
I just put it on my music channel, on my Nick's Tunes slide. Okay, now who's it? Oh, where is it from? Where? Oh, now I'm an it. Okay, now I'm just kidding. I'm from Michigan, but I live in Texas. But I've lived and Belgium and Korea and Germany and North Carolina and Colorado. And so, I'm a, I'm just all wrapped up in everything. I'm wrapped up in Vogue, as Malcolm McLaren would say. He's dead. He was a genius too, just on putting stuff out there, I guess, Bow Wow Wow and Adam and the Ants, and you know what I mean, and all that other stuff. He was crazy. But Sly, it costs money to run an empire, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't run a kingdom. You're the king, and you got to feed the kingdom, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm playing devil. Now I get to play devil's advocate for once.
Okay.
Now, even though I know they are the music, I know they shady. I know you know better than I do, but I know shade when I see it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Taylor Records, and I got all these, and I got 40 people signed to me. And I'm, you know what I'm saying? Because I got to give you a sign-on deal. I'm giving you a deal for this, that. What you say it? The gold, the
black card,
black card, and all this other stuff. I got to pay for this big shiny tower building that I'm in, studio time, blah blah blah, all that other good stuff, right? All 40 of the people I got. Yep, Reg is right. Iron Maiden redone, Cross-Eyed Mary. I got it when it first came, when they Iron Maiden made an album where they done like redone all kind of other people's songs. Budgie is another group, Sly. Budgie. Okay. I don't know if you hip to them. A lot of people redone them. A lot of people. Iron Maiden, Metallica redone them when they came out with their Garage Inc. The song.
Yeah.
Bread Fan. That's a Budgie song. That's from the album. That's the Bread Fan. That's from Budgie. Okay. Iron Maiden even done I Can't See My Feelings. That's also a Budgie song. But anyway. All right, so I got these 40 people signed to my label, right?
Okay.
All of them ain't gonna be a hit.
Correct.
Okay, but I'm spending money. So is it safe to say that I'm eating off of, even though I got 40 people signed, that I'm probably eating off of 5?
Correct. That's exactly how it works.
And so, is it fair to those 5? No, but my other 35 ain't cranking out the shit like the 5 is, but that's how I'm keeping the whole machine together. Is that pretty much how it goes?
Yes.
So I can stand losing one of the 35. I probably risk, if somebody now, can somebody buy them from me?
They can, someone can offer to buy out the contract. But now that's cool for you because you're going to more than likely get what's owed and then a percentage on future earnings from the new contract, whoever buys it out. But if you're the artist whose contract is being bought out, now you're even in more indebted to the new contract holder.
Yeah, but I got to keep the ship afloat, because if my label sinks, then the people that's on my boat don't eat, right?
Yeah.
So I guess it's give and take. So I say, because it takes money to run an empire. And I wrote down something because while you was talking, I jotted down some things that's coming in my mind.
Okay.
I think, now tell me if I'm wrong on this. Now, we know the music empires, you got to be New York, Cali, and Miami. I know. I get it. New York and California got some of the those are, I bet you that's number 1 and number 2 in taxation. I'm willing to bet you.
Oh, yeah.
It probably ain't even close.
Right.
Okay. So ain't staying there. You know what I'm saying? I'm an artist. What I think, because I be thinking, okay, yeah, I can go to LA and shoot my video, or go to New York while I'm walking around Crown Heights with Slide. You know, no, fuck that. We ain't going no Crown Heights. But to shoot, to do your thing and whatnot, but I ain't living there. Because we're I guess, you know, because man, I can only imagine how much money you give up in taxes there. I learned that. Remember that well, his son is now he's the running back for the Carolina Panthers. He was a wide receiver for the Denver Broncos, McCaffrey.
Oh, Ed McCaffrey?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I remember a thing years ago. He said, well, what was part of the reason why you signed well, he could have went because the Giants wanted him, and the Jets wanted him, and this one wanted him, and this one wanted him. And I still remember this to this day. He said Colorado, lower tax rate. Right. And they kind of laughed, but you know, I guess ain't nobody thinking at that level. You know what I mean?
Here's a problem with that situation, because now when you sign, they need you there. So New York was for the music and the fashion, LA was for the TV and film. So normally when they did sign you, they would help you get a place. It wouldn't be something immaculate, but it would come out your budget, or you make some type of deal, whatever, and where you could stay and work, because as soon as you sign, you're in the studio. That's it. That's your life for the next 3 to 4, 6 months.
I'm gonna have to have me a place across the Chesapeake then, bro.
So the reality, you could do it now, but the reality is you had to be near the label, because when issues arise, you need to be in these meetings. You need to see what's going on. You need to go meet the staff. What they would do is they take the artist, and you would meet the entire fucking staff of your record label, because the people have to care about your project. That's graphic artists, your I don't know whoever does the fucking ink pens and shit. You have to get these people to care about your project, because if they don't give a shit, they don't believe in you, they're gonna half-ass your shit. So you probably 2 to 3 weeks meeting the entire staff. They take you to the station. I mean, it's just a whirlwind of meeting folks and trying to convince people to believe in your project. And then you record songs and you turn in songs, and they're like, okay, we like this, we don't like that. And then you meet some of the shareholders. Okay, shareholders, they don't talk about this much, but the shareholders will come in every quarter, and they're like, well, who the fuck did y'all sign? Let's see. So when you see these niggas in the A&R meetings,
so I'm like on the chopping block. They
exactly performing, jumping on the fucking desk and performing and shit. Those are shareholders in there. They want to see where their money is going.
But it ain't going in my pocket.
You being an artist, you're just happy to be there. You're happy to jump on top of a table like Bobby Shmurda and perform for me. It is what it is. It is what it is.
I think that's you think that's kind of how like Buddha and Jive lost so many smaller black artists to Muscle Shoals, maybe because they're not getting taxed to death.
Yeah.
And Michigan tax rate is lower too. So when Motown left Detroit and moved to California, can you imagine how much money that cost the artists?
Now, if you're looking at artists, understood. But if you're Barry Gordy, you're like, it's fucking LA. It's California. It's where I need to be. It's to take me to the next level, And there's still that old trick to this day. I'm gonna put Motown and I'm gonna put QC. They both do the same shit. They buy their artists cars. If anyone follows QC, all they do is buy their artists cars. That's the oldest trick in the fucking book. We all saw the Temptations movies. When the artist is upset, what the fuck what they go do? Go buy him a Cadillac. Chess Records. When every time Muddy Waters get upset, go buy a nigga a Cadillac. We'll write it off, but we're gonna tax him. It's gonna come out his budget. Yeah, a couple of people. Hey, what's up? Keep it techie. A couple of people. Yeah, but a couple of artists that didn't work on, because a couple of them wasn't having it. Howlin' Wolf. Yeah, Howlin' Wolf wasn't having it. Right. Now, man, the story of Howlin' Wolf, they said when he left the Delta
and went up to Chicago for the first time. He left Mississippi with $34,000 in his pocket. Now, some people may say that ain't the dude in 1950, whatever the fuck. That's a lot of money. Hell, I bet you some people right now ain't got $34,000.
Wait, you say 1950, whatever.
Yeah, because he done the came, with the meet me at the bottom and dust my broom. I think that was 59. Okay. So, but it's something like, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
30 some odd, it was 34, 30, it was 30 something. And like I said, I ain't trying to be a jackass, but I bet you some people ain't got 30 some odd $1,000 now.
Right. So,
yeah, so you couldn't do that. You couldn't do that with him. You couldn't do that with McKinley Morgan. You couldn't do it with Muddy Waters either. Mm-hmm. He wasn't taking that by either. What? Who the hell you talking to? You know what I mean? Now Matt Guitar Murphy, he went out bad. Yeah, he started coming back towards the end, and he was in the movie. I hope he made some money off the Blues Brother movie, because remember, he was Aretha Franklin's boyfriend.
That's right.
And a lot of people don't know. A lot of people have no idea who that is. Now, I do, being the music junkie than I am, because I'm like, that's Matt Guitar Murphy. And people, who? What do you mean, who? That's Matt Guitar Murphy, fool. Wait, Google him. What's a Google? That's right. Google ain't been made yet. Shit, I got to wait 24 years. All right, in 24 years, Google him. But man, the blues players, from my understanding, they got paid more cash than checks.
Yeah, whatever it took to
shake houses and whatnot.
Yeah, they would rather give you the money as opposed to give you your credits, your publishing. And because publishing that's your retirement, that's your Social Security.
Yeah, but they would some of them, with the exception of Willie Dixon and Howlin' Wolf and them, but the other ones, they just took Lightning Hopkins figured it out too late. Mm-hmm. He figured it out, but man, I'd have been to Centerville, Texas more times I can count, bro, and you can just still feel him in that town. You know what I mean? You can this is Lightning Hopkins' town. This is his town. They take turns cleaning his statue. You know what I'm saying? They take turns. And now I want to see some of them clowns go over there and try to do something to Lightning Hopkins' statue. You're gonna get your ass killed in Texas. They'll kill your ass over Lightning Hopkins in Texas. Trust me, they will kill you. Mr. Charlie, he the one made that for, the something Mr. Charlie.
Yeah.
And a lot of people say it, don't know where it came from. That's him, Mr. Charlie's Rolling Mill. Anyway, states with high taxes. How does a label, is there a legal way? Well, you already answered half of it when you touched on it. Is there a legal way I can get around payola?
Oh, from whose perspective?
From the label's perspective.
No, not anymore, because a couple years ago, Atlanta got in trouble with the government for not registering their payola. And that's when a lot of people found out that it's legal to pay radio stations monies to pay your stuff. Here's the problem. So if you're an independent artist and you got 10 grand, you can go to a PD and be like, yo, spend my shit. Okay. And during these time slots. Okay. But unfortunately, Warner Brothers is paying me 50 grand for these slots. So now whose record they going to play? So you're going to get that midnight to 3 a.m. the witching hours slot.
Well, I guess it all depends on the genre of your music, what slot you want. The working class versus the hood street class. I mean, I guess it all depends on the genre of music you're playing.
That too, but pop gets precedent over everything. If it's considered pop, if it's a pop.
Now that's, I didn't think about that. You're right. Pop is a 24/7 cycle because, and plus I think also because one thing I noticed, country music still is pretty much radio dominated,
Mm-hmm.
because I guess the country listeners still pretty much their form of media intake is the radio, more so than yeah, you buy it MP3 or down a CD, because I'm in now. The thing about Texas, everything, Jesus Christ, people don't know. A lot of people don't know this. Iron Maiden, Metallica, two of their largest, they had got on their thing. Two of their largest shows were in Texas. Texas is South Texas, where the Mexican and white mash is metal country. They love it. But you get out towards the Panhandle and going out west, that's country western. Dude, I mean, I'm telling you, you can go and see anybody country in Texas and Tennessee and Kentucky. And guess what? Dog, the house is full.
Well, shit, Garth Brooks still touring to pack houses. Yeah. He ain't got a record in 10 years.
The house is full. Yeah. It's fucking I need 4 tickets to the Garth Brooks concert, and they go.
and that between and with country and let's say rock, that is the fundamental difference between them and hip hop or even urban R&B. Those fans, you won't have to put out a record ever. They will come they will pack the house to see your shows. They will still buy your old shit. Fan loyalty far greatly surpasses. You can be 80 years old. These motherfuckers want to steal you on stage. I mean,
yes.
Angus, those guys, AC/DC perform until one of them lost hearing, still couldn't hear shit. They still want this motherfucker to perform. Yeah. One of them, I think the guitarist died not too long ago. Yeah.
Here. Yeah. He can't hear before this. I tell people, look at the stuff live in between sets. You see him put the neck of the bass over there, and Nick Mason, the drummer, is while he hit, and he's tuning the guitar.
Yeah,
he's tuning the bass for him.
Yeah, I mean these guys are out. They have arthritis. They're half deaf. They're half blind, and they still get their asses out there to stadiums. Still stadium to this day, I'm
like, man, look,
I hear,
bruh. The goon.
Why he look like Capadonna from Wu-Tang Clan in the damn thumbnail?
See, you don't get it started.
Hey, let me give a shout out real quick to Collins. Thank you, bro, for the Cash App. Thank you, Ronnie, for the PayPal. Quick thing, real quick. Like, let me mention. Someone asked about Lou Pearlman. Lou Pearlman, NSYNC, Backstreet Boys fame. This guy
them off a lot of money.
Yo, do you know he signed him? He's the 6th member of their groups.
Yes, I heard that.
A lot of people don't. That's how just dastardly his contract was. Same thing with Puffy when he Mark Curry made the book, The Deal with the Devil. Puffy would charge his artists appearance fees.
He maced over.
Yeah. So yeah, they're gonna get every dime out of you.
But why? Why? I don't get it. Why? Okay, dude, I got 20 million. Somebody say something. It's only at the top coming soon. Jesus, Joseph, and Mary. Now for Slides, for some odd reason, the chat on YouTube isn't really working for me. It's just going in little bits and pieces, but because I can see comments on StreamYard that I can't see on.
I'm strictly on StreamYard chat. I'm just looking at StreamYard. I don't even mess with the YouTube chat.
That's crazy. But I look okay. I got 20 million because I've never been. I'm greedy, but I'm only greedy to a certain extent.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's hard to explain that, but I'm not so greedy to the point that I'd rather watch you starve than to give you food that I was going to throw away. if that makes any
Okay,
sense.
so I can ask you that very same question to a regular company owner and say, in whatever industry, I can ask you that same question, and
Mhm.
they would be like, "What do you mean? Like, pay them more wages, give them $1 raise, or what I'm saying, or give them an extra lunch break, an extended lunch break? What do you mean? That will cost me money."
But if I don't see, because I look at it like this, like certain things costing me money, because I'm looking at it from a productivity standpoint.
Uh-huh.
If y'all are more if y'all get more stuff done in the yard, they get more trucks unloaded by me giving them an extra 15 minutes on top of their lunch and an extra 15 minutes on their second break. That's 30 minutes, but I'm looking at the numbers, they get more trucks unloaded. That's 30 minutes I'll gladly give up. You know what I mean? Because I'm gaining it back in productivity. Even if I break even, because I've done stuff for the guys that I just broke even on. Because I see it's not people, you didn't make any money, but it didn't cost me any money. You know what I'm saying? I'm still at my same 17% profit margin after giving them an extra half an hour a day.
Mm-hmm.
Give it to them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if that extra half an hour knocked me down from my 17% to 16%, well, Nick, that's only 1%. Yeah, but on $2 million worth of shit a year, that's, you know what I mean? I won't. So then, but I'm one of them. I talk to them. Okay, look, y'all want this or you want that?
This nigga, ain't this some disrespectful
With
ass
angry
shit?
and starting the Grand Inquisitor.
No, we're gonna have to have a talk with this. You know what I'm saying?
Why are we dealing with this?
How the fuck are we getting trolled by our own?
We get trolled by our own partner.
This nigga.
Oh my gosh. This is crazy. Ojo said, I'm not a dirty, greedy bastard. Now, one thing that I will do, I didn't tell people, look, man, you can't have this. Why not? Because that's going to cost me 40 grand. Are you willing to give me 40 grand just so you can get that? And they go, now, if you are, then shit, take it. You know what I mean? But if you're not, then the answer is no. Then Steely Dan was owned by the New Jersey mob under rope for them.
I heard that.
Wow.
I heard that. I didn't think it was true, but I heard that somewhere, and I was like, nah. But the mob was Atlantic Records. I mean, like the mob. Yeah, there was
Why?
No,
Watch.
okay.
Be careful.
Okay.
Be careful.
Well,
because I get a phone call. Hey, and I'm hello. Yeah. Who is this here? I needs to talk to yous. Talk to what? Yous. And when if I hear you start scream up there, hey, who's disrupting my coronation?
Coronation Starscream. This is bad comedy.
Megatron? Is that
There's
you?
a hint.
When they blew the horns and he shot me, get on with it.
Oh,
shit. Dude, why do we still remember that?
Oh my god, that was some good writing. That was some good
coronation. This is bad comedy.
Fucking Leonard Nimoy, man.
That was excellent.
Thank you, Carrie, for the cash app. The business, man, it breeds a certain type of greediness because for you to get in, you got done dirty. You turn around and repay the favor. It's just a vicious cycle. It's rare you come across genuine people that don't want to just flatly outright rob you. It's so few and far between.
They said, man, Jackson Brown, they said the way he took care of his musicians was something else. I remember Don Kirshner's.
Yeah.
And when they would used to have that thing, and he is saying that they were naming off the people that the band where they just took, and us and Jackson Brown. I remember that they say Jackson Brown. Now, if they don't eat, he ain't eating. When they were on the road, when we were supposed to have 10 rooms and they only had 8, him and the drummer would sleep on the bus when they first started. Cause look, he said, I can sing regardless. I just play second rhythm acoustic. I got the easiest guitar, you know what I mean? To play look, man, my bass player needs a comfortable bed. My lead guitarists need a comfortable bed. My backup singers need a comfortable bed. They got the hard part. I can actually be off key. Ain't nobody gonna care because I'm Jackson freaking Brown. They said John Cougar Mellencamp was like that when he first started.
Yeah. Well, I met him a few times. Because he lives in Indiana, Bloomington, and I met his daughter. My mentor was one of his lead musicians. So
wow.
Yeah, he initially wanted Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre wasn't available, and they recommended my guy Mosey. And Mosey had been with him close to 15 years. And we went to his mansion. He had a big ass guest house, and then there's the fucking mansion down the road up the fucking up the hill. So yeah, Mellencamp got money. He got money.
Yeah.
You know, Jack and Diane still be paying the bills. So.
Man, that little pink houses. I know he had to make a mint off of that one.
Well, I will say this, and the sad reality is, white artists tour because they want to. Black artists tour because they have to.
They have to. The 360 contract.
Okay. It's a deal basically created by the devil. That's a dirty, nasty deal. But
explain to the folks what that is.
Basically, every form of media, they get a percentage of. If you say you went to Hollywood and got your own movie, got you a spot in a movie or TV, they get a cut of that too. So every time you get paid, they get paid. Period. All across the board. Even if you went to go get it, if you got something on your own without their help, they still get paid. They're gonna get a cut. Yeah. Now, initially, it was created to help offset the losses of the label because everything is going to streaming, physical sales, and not so much, And but they figured out a way to finagle that shit. It's dastardly, man. Like I said, you're not gonna beat the system. You're just not.
I mean, but why would anybody even think, even entertain singing? I mean, okay, so you're gonna make money off my tour, off my t-shirts, off my koozies, off my no, motherfucker, no. How about no? I mean, because you ain't gotta sign it, right?
No, but if it's a chance for you to become famous and your name in lights and be all over the TV and
get paid, I don't give a fuck about my name being okay. Sly, I'd rather be a dude with a little bit of money that's standing behind the guy sitting in the big chair than to be the guy sitting in the big chair and I'm fucking broke.
Well, sir, I will call you the Chuck Norris lone wolf of the business, because most people would rather be famous than be rich.
I don't give a damn about fame, because that's how shit get. Look, I don't want to be a household name, because that's how shit get going. I don't want my name going in and out of everybody's mouth. I'd rather be the guy I'd rather be the guy that owns the studio. Oh, did I tell you I gave that dude the check back for that mixing board?
Oh no.
I sent it back.
Word. Wow.
I sent it back. And it's a guy that owns an audio repair shop in San Antonio. Find out this guy used to work at a place called Sun Records.
Okay.
I don't know if you ever heard of them.
That's an old label. Yeah.
Yeah. He said it's in Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
And he worked there for 10 years. And he said he can fix, he said his work, he said he already know what's wrong with it. He says nothing major. It works.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a couple of small little items like this light don't work. You know what I'm saying? This slider here is scratchy and stuff like that. I sent the guy to check back. I sent it back.
Okay.
I mean, but hey, he didn't meet the time deadline I gave him anyway. So, you know, I mean, so it ain't like I reneged on something. I'm like, okay, Sly, I'll take your $3,000 and you need to give me the other $2,000 by the 1st of September. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And the 1st of September then came and gone. You know what I mean? And and so I'm like, hey, well, man, I'll just send you your check back. And that's what I did. I didn't cash it. You know, I didn't cash it and then rewrite another one and send it back because, you know, fucking $3,000.
What are we gonna do with this guy?
I don't know, man. I'm tired of being oppressed and silenced by these two agents. Who's disrupting my coronation? So I sent it back, but I'd rather be the guy that owned the freaking joint. But then all right, you done the 360 deal. This one don't make sense to me.
Okay.
Actually, it do. But I think it's a whole thing, and it would take me. I can't take the short path to this long trip.
Okay.
So I know. But I can't. But I'm gonna have to chop it down, way down. So a lot of people, I'm apologizing in advance because some people come in. What? You know what I mean? Because you were in the biz. I was on the reproduction end of the biz, but you wanted a certain level of quality.
Mm-hmm.
That was my gig. Yeah, I'm selling tapes. Yeah, I'm selling masters. Yeah, people are giving me blank reel-to-reels. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I'm making masters off of masters. You know what I mean? Because I had the equipment and I know how to use the equipment. And but do that stuff there. But I think the quality of music now is horrible compared.
Which genre are we talking about?
Overall.
Really?
Now, take that back. Hip hop then kind of done this. Well, up until this reason, this month. What the fuck is that? What is that?
Okay, I'll say this. I'll say this.
I don't get it.
Well, okay, when you say quality, are we talking mix and mastering, or are we just talking
okay, yeah, because some records were slick. Some of them Neve 88 panel console mix thing. Some of them is just you know what I mean? Just whether you liked that genre or not, mm-hmm. The music, you know what I'm saying, was just boss. Example, Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters had an analog. Their last two albums, they done it in analog, and they done it in his house. He bought the Neve 88 and all that other stuff from some big giant studio that is shut down. Big analog, and it got all, and he's showing it. It's on his YouTube channel. All the people's signatures that's on that console. You know, Pat Benatar, Blondie, Tom Petty, Quincy Jones, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Where they're actually signing the freaking console.
Yeah, that's dope.
You know, so they can, so, you know, they didn't, so this thing in his last, and you can hear it. You can literally, but see, I guess it's like a gradual thing. Like a person is losing their hearing, it's gradual. So they don't, you know what I'm saying? They don't. Why do I need a hearing aid? I hear just fine. No, you don't. It's just been, you know, why do I need glasses? I see fine. No, you don't. You know what I mean? The steps were so gradual. Dude, you can pick one. Pick any mainstream soul, R&B, or rock and roll album from 1979. Pick one. Put it on a rip. Now, audio equipment has changed because the quality that went into Macintosh and Marantz, you know what I mean, and techniques at that time, and Dual and Crown, you know what I mean, and JBL. It's not like that anymore. You know, this stuff was made in Massachusetts and New York State, up in upper New York State, in Michigan and Oregon, and you know, and all this other stuff. Now that shit is made in, you know, what they say in their mouth don't make. We make very good loudspeaker for you. 3,000 yen. We'll get you on the top tier. What? Now, with the exception of now a lot of people don't. JVC stands for Japanese Victor Company.
Yeah,
but JVC is actually from California.
Okay.
They sold it. JVC was started by two Japanese immigrants, Japanese American immigrants, started JVC. But they, you know, but now we know JVC is in China, is manufactured in China now. It's still headquartered in Japan. It's not the same. But if you go to a real audio store, see, here's the thing. Sly, you know this. None of that shit is in them studios. If you can buy it out of Walmart or a motherfucking walk-in store, is junk. You know that. Them studio monitor speakers, you can't, you know, people, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You can't buy none of that stuff. So here we go. So here's the thing. The people, and I ain't dissing them. The guys that's coming up today, they didn't get to listen to the audio equipment that we got to listen to.
No, I mean, when I tell people, you know, what a zip, you know, have you heard of a zip drive? What's a zip drive?
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, dude, I still got my TBX RBL 1000 sitting in here. I got two reel-to-reels in here. I got an Akai GX 747 and my TX. They're sitting right behind. They're sitting in the next room behind me.
Yeah,
I still got all that. It doesn't. But you play this new stuff on older stuff, and you can hear the garbage because, like they tell you, new audio equipment isn't. Clarity isn't its thing.
That's not the end goal. You're right.
But if you go to any high-end audio store, just go in just to listen. You know what I'm saying? People, hi, can I help you? A boutique audio store. And you're gonna be like, you mean all that? And not volume, sound. It's a difference between volume and sound. And you'll be like, you trying to tell me what I'm listening to is coming from them two speakers that's about, that's about 2 foot tall. You know what I mean? And that turned to, and that. Yeah.
Well, really? you still got people that don't even know the difference between monaural and stereos. So,
yeah. You know. But that, that there, so they can't sing back. All right, think about it, bro. The quality of everything has gone down.
Agreed.
Because back in the day, you had to be a bad motherfucker to do nothing but sing. You had to be a bad motherfucker. Because if not, you had to know how to sing and play an instrument.
Mm-hmm.
Like Aretha played the piano. Ray Charles played the piano. You know what I mean? Howlin' Wolf plays the guitar. You know what I'm saying? You had to, ain't a whole bunch of Steven Tylers in the world that don't do nothing but sing. Ain't a whole bunch of Deborah Harrys, blondies.
And they can pick up an instrument and convey to the producer what they're trying to play or to the rest of the band. But yeah.
I mean, there ain't gonna be. What's the odds of us having another Stevie Nicks? I mean, yeah, exactly.
Mm.
Can't nobody. Chicks can't mimic her sound now. Can't nobody redo Landslide. You can redo the music part, you know, the guitar, the bass, the drum. Mick Fleetwood wasn't no badass drummer. He was just a good composer, arranger, you know, and kept all the pieces moving, you know, for Fleetwood Mac, you know, Mick, you know, but he wasn't no badass drummer. He can carry the line, but that was it. Slide, you take that shit. These people now, they can't play shit. They can't play nothing. Most of the rappers back in the day actually started out as DJs. A lot of them were DJs. The Fat Boy, the big one, Buff, he was a DJ. He, you know, he could. Biz Marquis could, you know what I'm saying? But now these, what can they do now? Now it's digital beats, boom boom bap, boom boom bap. What did Big Boy say? When come out to the new records, he don't give a fuck as long as it got that tick tick followed by that bump. It did. Really? That's not the do. You couldn't mix up nobody else's stuff back then because everybody had their own individual sound.
Yeah.
Everybody and the bands and whatnot. Now with Motown, it kind of blurred because you used the Funk Brothers and they played for so many artists. So the music part sounded the same. The part that differentiated was the singer. You know, Diana Ross, Martha Reeves. You know what I'm saying? And you know, so that, you know, Stevie Wonder. Here another one. I tell people, name or the badasses from back in the day. They could do something else. B.B. King played the guitar. Right? Mm-hmm. Howlin' Wolf played the guitar. You know what I mean? T-Bone Walker played the guitar. Johnny Guitar Watson, the guitar. Jimi Hendrix played a guitar. Phil Collins played drums, right? Peter Gabriel plays. These guys here now, with the exception of rock, with the exception of metal, I can only think of two metal leads right off the bat that don't do nothing but sing. Bruce Dickinson from Iron Maiden, Rob Halford from Judas Priest.
Okay.
Every Metallica, James Hetfield played guitar. Dave Mustaine, Megadeth, he plays guitar. You know what I'm saying? We going on down the line. You gotta play something. These guys now, because you got a digital thing. The albums that'll never go back is the ones that had real bands and real. Now you got some flash in the pan stuff that happens now. This is hot right now. But you got some albums, Sly, you know, that's going to be hot forever. You know what I'm saying? And most of them have real singers playing real instruments. Garth Brooks albums ain't never gonna stop selling ever. You know what I'm saying? Even though they sold the catalog, James Brown had a band. He had a real band. You know,
I thought Ozzy could play an instrument. I thought he could play guitar.
Ozzy don't do nothing but sing.
Just a straight singer.
I forgot about him. Yeah, Ozzy don't do nothing but sing because Bill Ward's the drummer. Tommy Iommi is the guitar player. Yeah. And Geezer Butler is the bass player. That's right off the top of my fucking head because I love Black Sabbath. But well, it's not Geezer. He come with this song. I am the Geezer. What is this? This is shite.
Every time I hear him talk about Randy Rhoads, man, I get sad because I can see the sadness.
Randy was a fucking.
I tell people, him and Hendrix are my 1A and 1B. Like people be like Randy Rhoads, like listen, I put Randy Rhoads on Jimi Hendrix ass any day.
Randy Rhoads on anybody, man. Okay, listen to Bark at the Moon. Listen to the outgo because he got the middle solo and the solo at the end of the song from Bark at the Moon. Listen to San Antonio Worldwide News. Hey, I got somebody local to me. I never seen a guy from AC/DC. Oh, yeah, what's his name? The lead singer. Yeah, I did. Yeah, you're right. I ain't see him either. So that's 4. Sly, the music, the quality of the quality of equipment. So did the quality of talent go down? So the quality of the equipment, ain't no need of us making this badass vacuum tube equipment because ain't nobody playing instruments. Did the equipment go down first? So now the singers don't have to perform as good, or the other way around?
If you're gonna ask me which happened first, I'm gonna say the equipment got better first, and then subsequently they took music out of the schools.
And
yes, and this is another problem with hip hop. Hip hop
anymore.
The biggest issue I have with hip hop, it doesn't promote playing music instruments. I get it. DJ Premier can do things with a drum machine. That's great, but give me a motherfucker that can play a piano and create a song from scratch, can write sheet music. Fucking MPC.
Why should I play an instrument when I can just pay and sample James Brown?
There it is. Yeah.
Get the drummer some, and then Bernie. Parliament. When people hear him say Bernie, he talking about Bernie Worrell, Mr. Wu. But
yeah.
Bruh. And that's something else. Jazz, of course, jazz is always going to be, you got to be a musician. You got to play. Classical, you got to play. Yeah, now people don't look at it like this. Classical music, that's another thing. Every city, I don't care where you at, I bet you there's a classical radio station somewhere way down on the end of the dial.
Yeah.
Dank, and so radio still is important to certain genres, you know what I mean, in certain areas. So to them, I think, so like you say, getting that PD, that program director, is probably still more important in those genres than,
Well, you know what? I've always kind of blamed Stevie Wonder for bringing in the synthesizers, the Wurlitzers and the Korgs, and because once he did that, he showed everybody, oh, we don't have to work as hard per se for a certain sound. And it just kind of,
Pink Floyd done the same thing for rock.
Yeah. So it kind of made people lazy to a certain extent,
Pepper dropped theirs because they got so much. That's a trip. Times have changed. On their Bringing On the Heartache album, they had the synth version, and they got so much pushback from the fans and the radio stations that they cut it, went back and made a non-synthesizer, Bringing On the Heartache, and made a regular rock one, and that was the only one the radio stations in Detroit would play. They got so much pushback from the people. Ain't that something?
Yeah.
But they listen to the fan. Okay, because if the fan, everybody call in Detroit rock radio stations, call in WLLZ, WABX, WRIF, and saying, don't play don't play that shit no more, because the advertisers is listening too. They don't give a shit. The only thing they know is their revenue was going down because of their airplay, because you playing the wrong shit.
Right.
So they get, so I guess the word got back to whoever record company that owns Def Leppard, probably went like, hey, y'all need to, can we remix it and just take that out, or are they going to have to remake this whole thing? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We can't get it out of the mix all the way. Okay, then y'all just go in, just redo that one song without the synthesizer, and we'll put in a third guitar like Boston does, and that one, it blew up. So when they reissued the record without that one, the sales of that album shot through the roof.
Yeah. Well, I think it's funny when they remaster all the songs, all the old stuff, and they run it, and they'll strip it down, all the sounds down, and run it through a filter and whatever. And some of those old songs sound really good remastered.
Yes, some do. Some of them they take, but some of them they take the life out of it. Like
The analog quality of it, yeah, with the soul of it. Yes, I agree.
Yeah, like
Yes.
Led Zeppelin 2. You hear that too. You're so used to hearing that tube buzz on Black Dog, and you hear that bing, 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 bing. Hey, hey, mama, say the way you move, gonna make you sweat, gonna make you groove. And you hear the echo of you hear you know what vacuum tube ringing is, right?
Yeah.
You can hear, because I guess the drum must have been too close to the bass amp, and you can hear the tubes ring. But you listen to that song so many times, now you take that tune ring away when they some
songs when they try to mute the drums, you can still hear the drums very faintly. It's like, I love that part. Yeah, it's like, that old shit.
Like, dudes, no, I'm like, no, put that back, put it back.
It's cleaner. It's now clean. The remastered versions are very much just cleaner.
Yeah, what they call slick. Yeah. It's slick. Speaking of slick, wait a minute. You thought you were gonna get away? You're not slick. I got goons too. SoundCloud or Spotify?
Well, for what exactly? What do we just for? Okay.
You're Sly and the family Stones, not Stone, because you're Sly and you know, me and Truth, we're the family Stones. Okay. But he's gonna be throwing rocks at people and shit. So well, you said Stone, so I figured, you know, fuck, I may as well fucking do this shit. Truth, put it down. Okay, put it down. We're a music group, put it down. I ain't signing with no fucking such and such records. I'd rather be indie. I'd rather do this. I'd rather have control of my stuff. I want to go the Pixies route. You know what I'm saying? But Pixies are in the music in certain worlds. I mean, Pixies is still very popular. You know, I mean, Radiohead is very, you know, popular once they got out of that by time. If they hadn't got out by time they put out Kid A, they probably would have been done.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, but I'm glad they out, because Radiohead put out some great music.
Yeah.
Mitch Mitchell just redone his drums on Jimi Hendrix at Maui. Wow. Okay. That's great. Bruh. So you do that. So we ain't interested in being famous. We want to be, you know, you want to be Pixies. You want to be Sonic Youth. You know what I'm saying? Radiohead, but the thing is, people talk about them. They still pack every concert they do. When the Pixies have a concert, you can't get a ticket.
Yeah.
But they ain't got no label. So you can't. Now, do they do 30 fucking, 40? No. You know what I mean? They ain't doing them giant super. So that's why, you better get it. You know what I mean? If they coming near, if you want to see the Pixies, you better get it. Same thing with Radiohead. Radiohead gonna put on a good show though. They put on a show like they're a big fronted band, but they say they make John Greenwood was talking on the thing online how much if they put that Radiohead logo, that cat, that Cheshire cat thing, they trademarked that logo. It don't belong to the label. It belongs to them.
Well, I'm sure they made enough money to be able to do so.
I got Radiohead t-shirts, but all right. So we got Sly. Now, I don't know, Sly got chicks sing. God damn it, woman, you better sing. You better sing it on key. God damn it. We be here all night.
You must say, well, God damn it, I wrote the song. Oh, you did you? Oh, you just.
Oh, you did.
I did write the song. Oh, I was like, oh, bitch. Oh, what are you doing, bitch? What are you doing? What are you doing? He gonna whoop your ass,
bro. I ain't gonna let you go Ike Turner up in this motherfucker. I'm gonna be like, let me talk to you. Look, man, let her anime. You better sing that motherfucker. I'm like,
I know. I wrote the song. I was like, oh, God damn it.
and anime from Nutbush. Nutbush, ain't it?
Yeah. Nutbush, yeah. In-house, church house, schoolhouse, outhouse.
That was, man, that was some craziness
That's
going.
a good sounding record. Even the old version.
Ike was a genius. He was an asshole.
Super genius.
But he's a fucking genius. Okay, so Sly, we going indie. We ain't fucking with, because RCA calling, and this one's calling, and they want to see because y'all open for this people at the place in Austin, because the Austin Music Festival, that's the big thing now. What happened? Sly was there Purple Rain.
That was the perfection.
I can see Sly doing that. And I guess I'll be Jerome and shit. Then when you get the bottle of champagne, tell the lady keep the change, and what you say, Lino, Jerome, go get my change. Told her keep the change. But I love that yellow Cadillac with them black and white tiger seats on it that Morris Day and them had in the movie.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned the time. Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis wrote all that shit.
Yeah.
Morris Day and Jerome, they weren't getting squat. People, I don't know if a lot of people knew that it was Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis that wrote all the fucking.
Yeah. And Jerome Benton, Jerome ain't even playing an instrument. He just held the mirror and danced.
Yeah. Oh, and then the beef between Jesse Johnson and Prince, because
I heard about that.
Because Jesse was a better guitarist than Prince. Sorry. That's why Prince didn't fuck with Jesse like that. Because Prince knew Jesse was a better guitarist.
At that time.
Yeah.
At that time. Prince turned out to be a pretty damn.
Yeah. But
because you're going to blossom, you're going to bloom, anyway. Because, a lot of time it takes you a while to, John Paul Jones as an old man, he's a better bass player now than he was when he was playing, doing the Zeppelin 2. You can hear, being a bass player, I could hear his progression as each album came on. When about time the Houses of the Holy came out, he got it. He was beating that motherfucker up. Paul McCartney, he reached this pinnacle as a bass player. That's why he had to switch to guitar and get somebody else to play bass for him, because he was basic. He was basic as a bass player, Reg. He was basic as a bass player anyway. But okay, Sly, so can we make an album? Can we, me, you, and Truth, and we go, damn right, Danny, Rocket 88. You damn right. The first rock and roll record. That's it right there. We go to a studio, because we done played in your garage. You know what I mean? Got your old lady mad calling us names and shit. But we got the stuff. Here come them two niggas again. I'm like, no, why we gotta be two niggas? Alexander O'Neal was the front man for the time, but Prince fired him because he was too dark and voice was too strong. Then he wind up, Alexander O'Neal got my homegirl Sherelle. And they had, and she is in the video Innocent singing her little part and whatnot. But when they done Saturday Love, dog, that was it.
Yeah, you can't stop what's to be. Well, you can't deny what's meant to be.
Yeah, so that song was hot. That album, that whole Sherelle album's Affair. The name of the album was Affair. That whole album was hot. You don't even try to drop. No other chicks was in the studio going, wait a minute, let's wait on that album to, you know what I mean, cool down. Because Shirley Murdoch, she had one on deck. Anita Baker had her second one coming out. Anita froze that shit. She like Sherelle's Affair and Sade's Promise came out the same motherfucker. Dude, chicks, y'all done. Just sit still. Because, they came out back to back. Bam, bam. You got Sherelle and Sade dropping 2 months apart. Dude, stop. This is a business move. I know your stuff is good, but this is a business move. Trust me. Let's just wait until October. You know what I mean? For it to come, because we drop it now, we're gonna burn. You know what I mean? Because it's gonna cost us the same. Why burn it? Let's wait 6-7 months till Now Sade's albums ain't never lost a luster. I mean, dude, but wait on it to calm down. So we make the album. We go through it with your old lady calling us names every time we come by to play in your garage and shit and whatnot. And I'm like, can you do me a favor? Can you make me a sandwich? Nigga, I'll make it. Slide, get your old lady, man. And then, okay, so now we go to the studio. We know how much it is an hour because, it's X amount an hour. So we already set up. We ready to go. Look, man, you got to kick us out in 10 hours because that's all we got. You know what I'm saying? Make it. You done plug. I got my drive down there. Got my hard drive, and we plug it into the side of the console, right? And we play, and he record, and we pay. Now we can upload it to SoundCloud or Spotify, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, so we probably have to do something with SoundCloud or Spotify, right? To set up an account or something.
Set up an account, just then get to uploading. Yeah.
And then do your Twitter blitz. You know what I mean? Your Instagram blitz. Video, you know what I'm saying? Something to get people. Now, how do we make money?
So whatever Spotify's payout rate is what you would get, whatever per stream. But you're not going to make squat on it like that. Streaming doesn't pay out. It's to
get people familiar.
It's just awareness, pretty much.
Because now you waiting on somebody to say, hey, we need somebody to open for. All right, because we got the Offspring and this and that, because of course the new shit, you're always at the bottom. You know what I mean? You're the one that played first. And of course the headliner is, dude, I remember when Candlebox was an opener. I remember when Suicidal Tendencies was openers. I remember when Offspring was openers. I remember all that shit. I remember when the payolas were, and next thing you know what I'm saying? You like, boom. You know what I mean?
I remember I went to go see Nirvana, and Pearl Jam was the opener. And I was like, oh no. There's a mistake here. they should have switched this shit up. Because Eddie Vedder, man, like his vocals was like, oh no.
Man, they had a show. It's on YouTube too. You can look it up. Where Tom York, the lead singer of Radiohead, mm-hmm. He said he just come out to let people know that they made a mistake. They signed the paperwork, but everybody's in the house, and we letting y'all know right now, the Pixies are not opening for us. Because there wouldn't be a Radiohead without the Pixies.
Right.
And they literally waited till, even though the show was sold as, Radiohead being, nope. The band decided that they was not gonna let the Pixies open for them. And they played, and the Pixies closed the show out. Now, is that dope or what?
You know, the sad part is they got camaraderie like that. Urban artists.
Yeah, well, because urban artists attack each other.
I'll say this. I'll say urban R&B artists. The urban art back in the day would hop on either other songs, or they would come out and do impromptu performances. Somebody would show up. You didn't know who the fuck would show up.
Yeah, that used to be cool.
That used to be a real big, but not. Yeah, our people, man, we just
was Kool Moe Dee and LL Cool J one of the first beefs? Was that the first recorded record beef? Because remember, he done How You Like Me Now. And LL Cool J came back with Jack the Ripper, because they were beefing. That the first beefs on wax?
No, I think there was no way. Was Roxanne Shante before that? UTFO?
That's right.
Roxanne's Revenge. I think that was before LL and Kool Moe Dee.
Right, or it's pretty damn close.
It's very close.
Yeah, because Roxanne, you're the UTFO
I
crew.
had those 12-inch the vinyl shit. I had them shits. Roxanne's Response, and then come to find out it was two different Roxannes.
Make a record about me. The
Yeah, yeah. There was a light
RXANE.
skinned Roxanne and a dark skinned Roxanne. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
Roxanne, Shantae, the real Roxanne. There was just too many motherfuckers.
Yeah.
UTFO. And to me, even though that was their most famous song, that wasn't their best song to me.
Nah.
To me, Bite It was their best. It was between Beats and Rhymes and Bite It, because Bite It was that god damn, that one was bad. That's right. KRS-One, South Bronx, yeah.
Okay, so it was MC Shan KRS-One. That was one.
That. Yeah, the bridge, South Bronx.
Busy B and Kumo D was the first.
Huh?
So that's what they're saying. And then you had Sugar Hill versus Crash Crew. Yeah, it was Busy B and Kumo D. That's right. Yeah. That's right.
I'm like, yeah, because man, I guess that was just the thing. So, but you don't have that much, in the rock world much.
Yeah,
he got washed on stage. Damn, I think everybody was telling me LL beat Kumo D in that rap. I don't
think so.
I don't think so. And I like LL.
I got Kumo D beating LL, and I got Cannabis beating LL. I don't know what the fuck what they saw.
Yeah, they were smoking cannabis. That's what's wrong. I was like, and I like LL. Because man, when he changed his style, dude, I was in Germany when the booming system came out.
Okay.
I'm literally me and a couple of my guys in my gun crew, we walking from the mess hall. We in Germany. Brothers, because I had bumps in my car then, you young. Back then, we was bumping. And here a car ride by, and he bump, and you like, and you just hear this, and we all like, what the? You don't know what it is. You know what I'm saying? You know it's funky, because you heard it from hearsay. I was like, you're like, who is that? Then find out that because he lost that, he wasn't doing the LL Cool J. You know what I'm saying? He changed his tempo, whatever you want to call it. From that I'm bad down to a song, change. And I'm like, man, what is that? Then we heard it again. They said, man, that's the new LL Cool J. Guess who was the first motherfucker over there at the damn record store in Bamberg, Germany? You know what I mean? And that was it. But bruh, so you do the SoundCloud, Spotify just to get your name out. You got digital media now that don't cost you nothing. Instagram. I heard when you I heard from a couple of people. Some guy was talking to O'Shea, and from the guys from the Black Brain Trust too, said that they heard a guy said like just blow up on Instagram, and Instagram will send you a message because you cost, you know what I'm saying, bandwidth. Storage, like, can you premium account? You know what I'm saying? Because you are past just the casual.
Well, that's the thing. Like, people don't realize like the bandwidth is probably the most expensive expense.
Bandwidth is expensive,
and the servers and shit. So yeah, if you're running through this, like they gonna come see you about what the fuck you doing.
Man, you didn't. What do they call it? Viral. You done went viral, 3 million views in 2 days. Hey, because what they call it, throttling. Then I guess they
gotta slow you down. Same thing with your cell phone. If you go over your data package,
payola, give them some payola, so people get. Yeah, but that's right. Okay, then I got the last thing, and then I'm gonna let you run because I learned so much shit from you. I always go back and I listen to it again, and I listen to. That's how I learn, by repetition, right? Okay. Is there any way for another? Okay, I'm on a contract, and AMI or whoever the fuck, they just say, you know what? I know we signed you for a 5-record deal. Your first one was hot. Your next two is you know, they dead. We're shelving your catalog. You know what I mean? Whatnot. I remember you explaining to me about buying out your catalog, buying out your contract, and all that other stuff. And sometimes you don't have enough. It's rare that you have enough money, or then you trying to get somebody else to buy it out. But now you just traded masters. That's the only thing you did.
Right.
Okay. Is yeah, they hit you up. Yeah, bandwidth costs money, bruh. Bandwidth costs money. I mean, now I'm a small guy. Now slide running the impound yards, got 4 T1 lines. Talk to me about bandwidth. 4. Look like we've been over at the same time. Been over. I don't know what that means. Tila Rock. Hey, Tila Rock was I like Tila Rock. I did. And know what the argument when we was in Germany between DJ Tat Money and Cash Money. To me, Tat Money was a better D. To me, that's just me. I ain't saying Cash Money wasn't no good, because Cash, you know, there's
no wrong answer with that one. I don't think.
Yeah. How do you lose? Okay, so Sly, all right, now they done shelved my contract. They ain't making me make my last 2 records, right? You know, cause I had a 5-record deal, huh?
Normally, what they'll do is they'll just drop you, and they'll keep all your music. And if you ever wish to record again, you would have to get their permission if you try to shop it elsewhere, because you still owe them. You're still under contract, even when they drop you. Now, if they agree to release and say, okay, you're free to go, whatever the fuck you want to do, we got, you know, some drops ain't what they appear to be. They can drop you and you still be under contract with them, or they can release you altogether free and clear, and you can go wherever the fuck you want to go.
Okay, so they release me free and clear, then it's
you
like
can go wherever you can go wherever you
is okay. Now let's say they don't release me all the way like you said.
Okay.
So now, like say Sly and the Family Stones, and you call me Nick, I know you're under contract with Geffen Records. What's his name? Something Geffen. What's his name?
David Geffen.
David Geffen. And you know, I don't want this punk ass coming out here fucking with me, but I need you on this record. Now, can I?
No.
Just no.
You have to get the label's permission to be on whoever's project.
Because, you know, like you will look at some people's records and see, this is the reason I'm asking.
I know where you're going. Yeah, but go ahead.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't know. They looking at this record here and this John Fogerty album. And you looking where it says backup guitarist, and it says something like Super Sly, or you know, Stan Morales, or you like, who the fuck is Stan Morales? Then we find out years later that you know what I mean. Yeah. We find out years later that was
yeah, you can do an alias, but you legally on paper you can't tell them it was you. You breach a contract.
It was Neil Young. It was Neil Young.
Right.
But I guess he had to do that for...
That's right, because he would be in breach of contract, and then your label would send a cease and desist order to that new label and would stop the project.
Damn. Hey, Nell Ortiz, Bass Machine, yeah, Tila Rock, Mantronics. Mantronics don't get enough credit, you know, on that 808, you know, back in the day. He made some bomb ass motherfucking beat. Mantronic was hitting in the clubs. Mm-hmm. But okay, so that's how Neil Young was able to be on John Fogerty's album without getting in trouble. Yeah. But I'm quite sure so he got some money
I mean, I'm sure he probably wrote out a check to such and such under a dummy account or some, or paid him off in
I mean,
cash.
you'll be able to eat. I mean, you ain't gonna be
Yeah,
able to do that forever, but you can.
yeah, you can set up monies to funnel your some of the percentage of
Maybe that's
royalties into
how
a dummy
he got
account.
maybe that's how he got Neil Young got the money, because that's a trip how we was just talking about how they don't do each other like that.
Mhm.
But I think that's what he had to do to get some of his rights back from Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young.
That's right. Hey, remember
So
with
it was Crosby, Stills, and Nash, and then Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young. And I guess he had to give them that money to, it was some strange name that he played under a couple of people for, because Neil Young, he's a pretty decent guitarist. He's not bad.
well, remember John Fogerty re-recorded all that CCR shit and tried to make it a new album, and the label took him to court, but like, no, this is the same shit.
Yeah, they like, yeah, what are you doing? What are you doing?
It was slick though. It was smart, but it just
Yeah, but the killer part with him, when he decided to do the old man down the road and all that other stuff, we like, dude, you don't have to you got the skill. You don't have to redo the old stuff. And plus, you have a unique voice. No one's gonna mistake you for anyone else. No one can imitate your voice. You know what I mean? So the people, if you got a voice that can be easily imitated, then yeah, you're a what. But when you got a unique voice, you know what I'm saying? When you got it's certain guitar players, you know as well as I do. As soon as you hear it, you know who it is. You ain't got to hear the song. You ain't got to hear the bass. You ain't got to hear the drum line. When Eric Clapton starts playing, you know that's Eric Clapton. David Gilmour plays, you know that's David Gilmour, and on and on. But then some people that don't have, nothing special, but you like, who is that? I mean, if somebody can easily imitate you, you can be replaced. Okay, you Michael Jordan, but this guy got Jordan numbers, and he's 5 years younger than you. But but that, of course, that didn't come until later on with Kobe Bryant. But you know what I mean. So you can do that to make, just so you can eat. If somebody, even though they know that, man, that's Neil Young. No, it's not. That's Ralph Morales.
once again, that goes back to that camaraderie that they've always had with each other, because it's a shady business. They got it. It wasn't, the backstabbing wasn't as bad as it
is now. But plus then too, I guess the camaraderie part is good, but I got that Neil Young sound that may push this song that, how, because you really, now who this what I know I was gonna, who decides what singles get released, if any, from an album?
between the A&R and the label, them.
So you don't have no say.
Not really, no. What they, and matter of fact,
Attention, y'all.
it's a science almost. Like the playlist is important. Like the entire playlist is important. So every song is in a slot for a particular reason. So you lead off with,
today you had to worry about it fitting on the side of the record.
yeah,
You only had so much side space.
yeah. And then even back then, you only got paid for 12 songs. So if you put out a 15 song CD, you only got paid royalty wise for 12 songs.
Why?
That was just the royalty rate. That's just how it was back then. Even 10 songs. So now, like, say, even when they put out, those guys are putting out double disc albums, they only get paid for 24 songs. So then they up the rate to 15 songs, right? But for the most part, you only got paid for 12 songs off a CD. So those other songs are just thrown out there for free for the fans.
So what? Okay. So all right. So let's say, all right, I'm Quincy Jones, but back when he used to play, when he was and I put out the Walking in Space album, which only got 6 songs on the album. I just get paid for 6.
Well,
that's all I got, right?
Up until 93.
Oh, okay. Then this don't even count then.
Yeah, you pretty much you got paid for that allotment of songs. And then a couple of years later it increased, and then they went to court and then the labels actually try to take their songwriting performance arts to court to lower the royalty rates for artists.
They say A&R, what does A&R mean? I know what it means, but he's asking you.
Yeah. Artist and repertoire.
Yeah. But okay, so all right, now we got the songs, and Sly is the band leader, and we all us and you, we're all in the group, and we think this song is our best song, but the label can say, "Nah, we ain't releasing that as the single." They get to pick the singles, and we don't. I mean, you being
if you're signed to a label, the label tells you what to do. Unless you're a fourth quarter artist, then they give you more leeway to do it.
I mean, I say now, I'm quite sure you David Bowie and shit,
right. But no, if you're a brand new act, the label is pretty much they're telling you what to do. What singles, when to release the singles, what videos you're gonna shoot the singles for.
Is there a science between, which song and the frequency and the time space of when the singles are released?
So remember when radio slotted was like 3:30, like that was the time slot. Like you got 3:30, it was your max radio single slot time was 3:30.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So like even back in the day when they would release those maxi singles, 7 minutes. 46-second type song, they put them on the B side or whatever the case may be, but they had to chop the song up to fit that 3:30 slot.
Because you got your radio edit. Yeah, I know your LP version. That's some of it says radio edit on the record. Some of them. Okay, so you play that. I mean, so all right, so we got, because I see some albums got 2 singles releases, some got 3, some got 4, some got 1. I mean.
And then it all depends on how the singles do. Like, let's say like somebody like Mary. Like Mary's one of the few people that could have an entire album released as singles. Her shit, because every song resonated with the people for whatever reason. That's rare, but it could happen. But it all depends on the response you get from what is it? Your numbers. I forget your Nielsen or the Q numbers. No, Nielsen. Depending on what you rank. Single wise billboards and stuff like that. Back then, first week numbers was important. Billboard numbers was important. That all pretty much determine if you got a second single or not.
They still do the billboard online, but it's just
yeah.
So, but I guess, but I bet you. I'm kind of laissez-faire about it, but I bet you it's probably thousands of people waiting on that list to come out online. So
I still check the billboard. Like, here's the thing: you would have to negotiate in your contract the number of singles you'd be allowed to release, because if you don't, the label's gonna be like, well, you didn't put it in your contract. So like, you have to negotiate every aspect of the album release in the contract.
Wow. I'm seeing that Rick James and Neil Young were in the same band where they were young. A lot of people don't that I didn't know that. A lot of people didn't know that Luther Vandross was a singer for David Bowie.
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
I tell people go to YouTube and put in David Bowie Young Americans and watch the live video of the video for the song Young Americans, and look at there's 2 chicks and a dude back there.
Skinny Luther, right? He was skinny back then. Yeah, I'm gonna say he didn't get big till he started eating real good, and he was popping like.
Can't even say. You can tell that's Luther.
Yeah.
That's Luther.
Yeah.
And he had the baby fro.
That's right.
There was no Jerry curl then. He had the baby fro. Okay. And I appreciate everybody. Please hit the like on the way out. I'm about ready to get out of Sly's hair because I know he got stuff to do. But 5 Minutes of Funk Houdini. I love that song. And it's 5 minutes long. It really is. But that beat, once you hear it, that's another thing too. Signature sound. As soon as you hear 3 seconds into 5 minutes of funk, you know what it is. You know what I mean? You ain't nobody. Boom. Sly. Did George Clinton? Don't get mad at me because you know I'm a big Parliament Funkadelic fan. But
Okay.
hey, reality is but I can't stop reality from being real. Did George Clinton help or hurt the black funk and soul artists?
He heard it.
Huh?
He heard it. He hurt it. Yeah, he hurt.
I knew
he heard it.
Let's say that. God damn it. And I love that. I mean, man, the bands were so huge. The Parliament Funkadelic bands. I mean, the name, you know, the Bernie Worrells and the Bootsy Collins, and Kid Funkadelics and Worrell and Foots, and you know what I mean? It was just so many. Man, the thing is Thompson and all that. Man, he just pump out, but where did he find all them classically trained black people? I didn't know that. I know Luther was my homeboy. I didn't know that.
I'll do you one better. Had the black musicians.
Oh, he said you watching it now. I didn't know. Yeah, that's Luther. That's Luther.
I'll do you one better. Had the black artists that from the disco era had stuck together, they'd have been okay.
So you think George Clinton overall hurt?
He was bad for it, yes. He was bad for it.
Sly. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. But Sly, how can you say that when if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't know who a lot of them players are?
Okay. That's a fair assessment. But
I think I know the answer, but I want to hear you say it.
In that era, if you're good, you're gonna get noticed regardless. You're gonna get someone. Back then, talent stood out. So, and like I said, with the whole Alexander O'Neal situation, you can't stop what's already been ordained. Like those artists that he discovered and helped, they would have been picked up by somebody. Period.
Man, every time a guitarist left Parliament, the one that come behind him would be just
even better, if not better. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I'm like, where is he finding these people?
Yeah. What George should have done was like set up an incubator system for artists to come through. He'd have been the conduit to get them to the masses, and he could have been like a homegrown.
You think they were them players were coming to him thinking that he could, like ain't nobody else gonna take us. The world ain't ready for a black rock and roll guitarist.
I can understand why they would think that.
For the time.
Yeah, I can understand it. At that time, yeah.
Like the records just cashed in on it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, George, him and Sly Stone, my God, they really fucked up. They could have been like the go-to incubator for talent. Period. You still would have had them sign over to you. You could have got a piece of their publishing. They've been getting their royalties, your writing credits, and you just cultivate them.
Concerts. So every concert they done was sold out.
You didn't even really need the label because
the
name for yourself would have they would have gave you the venues just off the name alone because they know you're gonna come and tear this motherfucker up. They fucked it up. Sorry, and I met Sly Stone when he was still living in the van.
Oh, come on!
He played. This was we were in.
Be painful. Go ahead.
Okay, so we were in LA. Now this is what my guy at his studio. It was in Burbank. It was in Burbank. This was before he got killed. Right? Someone threw him off the balcony of his high rise. Don't know who did it. Yeah.
Was Suge in the area at the time? I mean,
we suspect it was some mob shit because he was cool with Eddie Murphy. Those are his peoples. But met Sly. He was still living in the van. His attorney was still fighting to get his past royalties. Extremely talented man. ADHD is the best way I could describe him because he's all over the place. Tall, skinny guy. He had the fucking crazy mohawk and shit. And he was telling us old stories about how Prince would come in and borrow some of his music, his works, And he worked, yeah. So he played some old Prince records that no one's ever heard. He was a
Wow.
cool dude, but he was just really all over the place, you know. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, yeah.
Wow. I think the drugs messed him up.
Oh, definitely. Oh, fuck. Listen, he's a walking 70s billboard of drugs is bad. Okay.
Why do they well, we need this for creativity. No, you don't. No, you don't. I mean,
Let me say this: out of all the artists that you know that were on drugs during their heyday, how do they sound to you off the drugs? How's their music sound to you now off the drugs?
like, I love Tom Petty all the way through.
So okay, so you're gonna tell me
Alice Cooper all the way through.
So you're gonna tell me Alice Cooper on coke won't make better music than Alice Cooper off coke?
Better live show? Yeah, Alice Cooper on coke. You know, when he does Schools Out, you know, you can't Schools Out forever. Look, man, I tell people, if you ever get a chance to hear another one, look up Second Coming and the Ballad of Dwight Fry by Alice Cooper and play Slide. I'm like, how did he slip through the cracks? People caught it toward, after years after that album. When you listen to it, you're like, holy shit. Sly Stone was worse than Keith Richards. I don't know. Keith Richards is probably petrified, like a petrified tree. That dope probably.
I mean, yeah, Keith, but Keith looks. Don't get me wrong. This was when I met.
Horrible. He's still alive, but
and he still gets his ass up there and somehow pull it together.
And here's the thing: y'all can get mad at me all you want. My nephew's a better guitar player than Keith Richards.
Keith was never known for having chops like that.
Keith Richards. Okay, he's Keith Richards. Okay, I get it. He's not. He can't. I bet you he can't. He can't play an arpeggio to save his fucking neck. I'm not a guitar player, and I bet you give me. All right, Nick. I know you're the bass player, but in 6 months, I need you to play these here. You need to practice your fucking arpeggios. And true. Yeah. What do you mean? Yeah. He hold the jug. And I'm like, oh, okay, never mind. Yeah, let me practice and shit. I bet you in 6 months I'll be a better guitar player than Keith Richards.
Don't get me wrong. Keith's got some memorable riffs. Sure.
Dude, I can play. Look, I can play the intro to Paint It Black right now, and I think I've only played it 3 times in my whole life.
I'm glad you said that. And get into timeless music like the Rolling
Stones. Bang, 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 bang.
Here's the thing: the Rolling Stones is probably the best example of timeless music. Paint It Black. Every Vietnam movie has that song in the trailer.
Yep.
And then Give Me Shelter.
Jungle from CCR. You got to have that.
And then Give Me Shelter for every mob movie ever. That's how you survive the business.
Dude, Give Me Shelter. Look. Under My Thumb. Give Me Shelter. Paint It Black. Sympathy for the Devil.
Yeah.
And you know that Don McLean song, The Bible. Do you know what all that stuff mean in the song American Pie? Yeah. So I figured you would.
Oh, yeah.
I was blown away. I've been singing that song since I was a child. So I didn't find out what all of that shit, all that stuff mean. What he's talking about, Jim Morrison, and he's talking about the Rolling Stones and the what's that motorcycle gang that was at the show that killed the black dude. Oh man, and Mick Jagger stood there and laughed and whatnot, and then the coat he borrowed from James Dean and all this other stuff, and Bob Dylan and all. Dude, I had no idea what all, and I know the song forwards and backwards, and I had no idea that's what all that stuff, what that song was about. That's another song that'll never go out.
Yeah, that's why I tell people, I mean, don't limit yourself, but all you need is one, and you're good. You can say, you know what, fuck this business. I got my timeless little hit. I'm good.
Or light my fire. It ain't never, you know, it ain't never, you know, once it ain't never gonna go away. It ain't never gonna go away, bruh. You giving me a headache, Sly, because I'm gonna 3 more times. Okay, and then about worrying about the people sending the record label sending they goony goons after you if you do something. See, here's the thing. That probably wouldn't work with a clown like me.
No.
Because
They're big in litigation. They're very litigious.
they have to do it that way. But the thing is, you can't go to litigation if you're missing your fucking head.
Well, don't get me wrong. There's some guys that don't give a fuck about going to court over no goddamn record contract. There's some niggas that don't give that court shit don't mean nothing.
And I'll make sure that I'm somewhere visually seen. You know, I'm at the Tigers baseball game. Oh, look, Nick Taylor from the bass player for Sly's band. You know, I'm sitting there, and then while I'm at the game and shit, the motherfucker, you know, he lost his Hell's Angels. Thank you. It was the Hell's Angels. They killed that brother at the damn concert.
I remember that. Yeah.
And that's look, Cottrell, Cream, Ginger Baker. Now I ain't taking nothing away from Eric Clapton. I'm not. Ginger Baker made Cream. Period. Ginger Baker was it. He don't get outside. Now the people inside the music industry, they know, but the people, the casual viewer, they have no idea. Ginger Baker made Cream. Not dissing Eric Clapton. He could have plugged in. You could have plugged in anybody and done that. Okay, Yardbirds. You had Yardbirds before Eric Clapton, right? Mm-hmm. You had Cream before. So I'm not dissing him, but dog, come on. Some players, you know, you can be plug and play. Here's another. I get the people. I like him. Ringo Starr. I could have plugged in anybody for Ringo to play for the Beatles. Anybody. Yeah. Anybody. You know what I mean, man? You know what I mean? I could have plugged in anybody. Now the Who, different. Them some piece. It wasn't a whole bunch of interchangeable pieces with the Who.
You know, I'm glad you mentioned the Who. I did not know that Terry Reid was offered Jimmy Page's position first. They went to him to join the band, but Terry was under a bad contract.
So that's how Led Zeppelin got Jimmy Page.
That's right.
I didn't know that.
I learned that just a few years ago. I didn't know that until a few years ago. Yeah. Terry Reid. Oh, I like Terry Reid, but man, could you imagine how different they would have sounded with him as their lead guitarist?
Yeah. Well, I'm like Steve Miller Band. The drummer for Steve Miller Band. First he was the drummer for Deep Purple. He got into an accident, and they thought he couldn't play anymore. So Richie Blackmore went and found another drummer, but then I keep forgetting his name. He did get better, and Steve Miller picked him up on a humbug while they were on tour, and he played for Steve Miller Band the rest of the fucking
Deep Purple, Richie Blackmore, and Ronnie James Dio.
Deep Purple, dude, I'm telling you, Deep brothers, and then you get brothers like, man, who is these bands y'all talking about, dude? Listen to them. Listen to the Zombies. Listen to the Kinks. The Kinks is one of the great great rock and roll bands. The Kinks are great. You know, even though it took me forever to find out what Lola was about, man.
Yeah, right. But it's still a great song. I still be like,
I like it. Here comes that part. I was kind of slow, but I mean,
well, you know what? Apparently, back then, they really were out there. Like they were. The Transformers were really out in the. I didn't know.
I didn't know either. You know, I'm not dumb, but I can't understand why she walk like a woman, but talk
like a man. Boy.
Ringo had one of the hardest one patterns on drums. The force was like a car hitting a tree trunk. I believe that's why they kept him. And to be a drummer too, If you're a drummer in a band that plays a lot of 4/4, 4/2, 4/4, 4/2, you got to be able to cut through the mix, as they call it.
Yeah.
Because now live, your sound man sitting up there, it's up to him to turn who's mic down and who's up and whatnot. Same thing with the studio. But some drummers can't play hard. Some drummers can play.
If they come from a jazz background, it's hard for them to make that transition. Yeah.
Like the Doors drummer, he could play,
Okay.
but he's not a Keith Moon. He's not a Ooh.
Same with
switch him with Keith Moon.
Yeah, same with Peter Criss from Kiss. Like he was basically, I won't say he's horrible, but when Eric Singer or Eric Carr replaced him, night and day with Kiss, night and day.
I tell you, it's and people get the same thing. Same thing with bass play. Okay, Brothers Johnson, Mr. He can bum 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 bum. Okay, play with Quincy Jones band. Play Walking in Space by Quincy Jones. He probably couldn't do it because it's boom 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 EADGGGEAFFF EEAAGG. I can play it. I'm not a boom 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 boom. I can play it, but everybody's not all the same. You know what I mean? One guard, two guard. They're both guards, but they're different.
Right.
But bruh, we can do. I'm gonna get out your hair because I know you got shit to do. And this was great. And we didn't get bullied. We didn't get bullied. Well, we got bullied a little bit, but it was
like after death row.
Yeah. Hey, if you tired of the the producer getting all up in your videos, dancing and everything, come on over to death row.
Oh shit.
But you couldn't just leave. I mean, cause Puffy ain't gonna just let you go.
Right.
They killed Craig Mack. You know that, right?
Oh yeah. I watched that last video of him in the church. It was depressing, man. It was depressing.
Mace better be glad he got out in one piece. How he got out in one piece is beyond me, but he did.
Covered in the blood of Jesus, I guess. I guess.
He went to the church and then left the church. Hey, man, what's up with Spliff? Man, what's Buster doing with Spliff Star? I thought that was his boy, man.
I did too.
Right hand man forever.
I did too. Well, I don't know. How
do you leave him? I can't do it, Sly. I couldn't leave you. I'm one of them. I wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah.
I'd be, look, man, I'll be like, look, man, Nick is like your mom when she's talking to the sisters at church. We leave in 5 minutes.
I like that shit.
That's hilarious.
What?
Buster dropped the ball with Spliff. And I'm like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, because look, man, Sly, look, I ain't leaving you. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, I came with, Dinko, Charlie Brown, Spliff Star, and me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Now, I may not have you in a fucking 10,000 square foot, 10,000 square foot, man, you know what I'm saying? But Sly, I'm not leaving you over, because I mean, look, I wouldn't quit Sly. Yeah, the same thing with Spin. I love Spinderella. Ooh, she sure was pretty. She was the best looking one.
The prettiest one of them, exactly. And the least ran down.
Huh?
At least ran through.
Yeah, and that ran through. But I mean, because I look at look, man, I'm not leaving you. Look, even after Sid Barrett burned his brain out on acid, and Pink Floyd went on without him and brought in David Gilmour, you know, to take you know, and now it's a 4-man band. Even though he didn't play no more after Piper's at the Gates of Dawn, he didn't sing anymore. They didn't leave him. You know what I mean? He wasn't tucked off in some nut ward in Southampton. You know what I'm saying? They still, even after the breakup, even after Pink Floyd split, you know, and David Gilmour went this way and Nick Mason went with him and Roger Waters went his way with his fucking goofy ass. I'm telling you, I'm a better bass player than Roger Waters. I'm telling you. I ain't good. Dude, I'm no bad motherfucker. I'm not. But I'm basic. But so is he.
Yeah.
You know, but he sings. So, you know, so there I can't sing. But they didn't leave him. You didn't hear Sid Barrett being on the street. You know what I mean? Or none of this other shit. Now, I'm quite sure their original record deal that they were still getting the bulk of the money before Pink Floyd got together, but they could have turned their back on Sid. They didn't. They didn't all the way up to the time he died. They didn't leave him. You know, there's David Bowie didn't leave Mick Ronson. You know, he didn't, because hell, dude, what guitarist could have pulled that off with Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars from that era? People have no idea. Play Moon Age Daydream and just listen to the too bad. But if you had a board like mine, you can hit and just listen to them, and you like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, no, that's not an overlay. That's a double arpeggio. He's doing that. He does it live. He done it live when they done Moon Age Daydream live. He done it right there on stage. And you like, oh, do it again. Like, this motherfucker is a bad man. He was, man, people. There's some great guitarists out there, man. Yeah. Great guitarists that most people just, if you ain't really a music lover, you look over them. You know what I mean? You hear them, you know, just like the two, you know, Chic, the chick, they could play. They could play. Them two chicks could play.
Yeah.
You know, get down, boogie, oogie, oogie, and she boom, 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 bing, 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 and then she just pop, pop, and I'm like, oh, look at her. She got that pop. They could play. They could play. Man, you hurt my feelings with George Clinton. God damn it.
Where was the lie? What I said?
I ain't say you lied. I said you hurt my feelings. I didn't say you lied.
I only confirmed what you were already thinking.
Yeah, you did. Would Dave Gilmour have made it without ever being in Pink Floyd? Because he's
I think so. I think so.
You think somebody would have picked him up?
Yeah.
He probably wouldn't have been to the, you know, but
I don't think people give like enough credit for their networking back then, because everyone was cool to everybody. Everybody knew everybody. You knew somebody. You know
the guitars. Hey man, I got this guy over here. He's fucking hot.
You know, worst case session musician. Somebody gonna notice you. Somebody.
You know, yes, man. Oh, it's some great session. But you're right. Somebody's going to remember you. But Sly, okay, another one, and we're done. The first Iron Maiden albums, Iron Maiden, you know, man. I love them first album, and then when Paul Di'Anno, when they got rid of him, because it's like the label, and it was, and you're right, it was the label that said Paul Di'Anno can't take us to the next level,
right?
But them two first Iron Maiden albums was fucking great. Are you kidding me?
Well, here's another thing people tend to forget. A lot of those label heads were former
Mhm.
musicians themselves. You know, um, David, or no, Jimmy, like, let's take Interscope. Jimmy Iovine played in what band was that? It played in the 70s funk band. So like a lot of these these they were all musicians at some point. So they understood. They probably understood better than anybody, which is why they made the decision that they made, for the concerning the artists. But them motherfuckers, they all, everybody plays something. Everybody knew.
Yeah, 'cause Bruce Dickinson came out of nowhere.
Yeah, right.
To me, what year y'all talking about? I don't know none of these people. You gotta dig, you gotta really get back in music. Yeah, oh, by the way, which one's pink? Yeah, that's from the song Have a Cigar. Come on in, dear boy, have a cigar. You're gonna go far. That's the music industry. Come in here, dear boy, have a cigar. You're gonna go far. You're gonna fly high. You're never gonna die. You're gonna make it if you try. They're gonna love you. I guess is that the A&R man? I guess
There it is.
The band is just fantastic. That is really what I think. Oh, by the way, which one's pink? And if you tell me the name of the game, boy, we call it Riding the Gravy Train. Junie Morrison Junie Morrison put out a single album in the 80s. I still got it. Though I like the sound of clans and bass had my downside. It was less room for session musicians to have careers. I guess you have to be a swamper for Muscle Shoals or one of the Funk Brothers for. Now, how do they get paid? So no matter how good or how bad Diana Ross album was, or Supreme's album was, or Stevie Wonder album was, you just got paid the same because you was just a studio musician?
It depends on if that's what their contract was with the label. Then yeah, they were like work for hire.
Because you work for Motown.
Now, unless you're one of them session guys that actually went in there and say, hey, I got a song idea for you, and you present it to whoever's writing, and y'all collaborate, then you'll get your writer's credits right that way. Yeah.
And then Muscle Shoals. A lot of people don't realize how much music came out of fucking Muscle Shoals too.
A whole bunch, yeah.
A lot of fucking music. So I'm a player for them. So whether the song's a bust or a bomb or a bust,
you get your money regardless. Yeah. So you either pay by the hour or you pay by the session.
Because the dude that made the opening bass line for Billie Jean, I hear he didn't get much of shit. I heard he didn't get shit. And it's an icon. As soon as you hear it, doom, 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 you know what's coming.
Yeah.
Cause Mike, he come with the hat doing the move. Hey, you got to throw the hat like a frisbee. Junie's Westbound catalog is literally Prince before Prince. All the tricks and stuff. Wow. That's what dude. I loved music because I grew up on it. I say growing up in Detroit is a blessing and a curse because you're given you're getting all the musics, all the different types of everything because everything ran through Detroit in the 70s. Everything ran through there, and so you got to hear a lot of stuff, but a lot of people are missing out on stuff, and a lot of people actually heard stuff and didn't know what the hell they were lit. Oh, Diana Rigg died yesterday.
No, I know one of the Cool in the Gang guys, one of their founders died, I think last week.
Really?
Yeah, I got lazy and didn't make the video.
A lot of people didn't watch the original Avengers on TV anyway. Miss Emma Peel and John Steed. Yeah, loved Emma Peel.
Oh shit! What?
Oh my! I don't know. I ain't never seen.
I've never seen her live. No,
I've never seen. Yeah, Detroit in here. That's right, Doc. Look. Parliament, a live band, but it was so many people. How did y'all get paid with so many people?
Good question. I mean, shit. Who else had a big band?
Dang.
James Brown had a big ass band.
But what Bootsy say when people ask me how to get paid, he said, paid? Man, I'm playing for James Brown. That's my payment right there.
Right, there you go.
But that's what Bootsy said. I guess that's how because people are, James Brown bass player.
Well, that's where that whole per diem thing comes in. They're gonna take care of your hotel, your food, and you should be humbled at the chance to be on tour with such a great legend. So that's how you earn your chops, basically. So
thanks, Sly.
Hey man, now that's what I'm here for.
And I'll download it because I'm gonna have to listen to it. But that's how I learn. That's how I learn. Because if there's a chance of me, you gotta pay your dues if you want to sing the blues, and it don't come easy. Hey, Sly, do you know who Electrifying Mojo is? He's a DJ. He's a DJ in Detroit, WGPR. But he is just a voice you never seen his face. Oh, gotcha. Midnight Funk Association, WGPR Detroit. He had the thing, turn on your light. If you're listening, go to the front porch and flash your porch light. If you're in your car, flash your headlights. Just when you think, you're at the end of your rope, tie a knot. Don't slip off, and just remember, ain't nobody bad like you. He was just this. Yeah, everyone. Yeah, exactly. he just that's how I know my real Detroit folks. Yeah. He was just this dude. You would run inside to turn on the radio when he came on at 8:00.
That's dope.
Everybody did. He introduced inner city Detroit kids to the B-52s, to Ultravox, to Visage, Fade to Gray. Always played Gary Newman. Well, it wasn't Gary Newman. It was Two-Way Army. Okay. Down in the Park, Our Friends Electric. But he's also playing, Run DMC and mixing. Mm-hmm. And Ted Nugent's the fucking man. Nugent's the man. Alice Cooper is the fucking man. Bob Seger is the mother. They said Bob Seger is sick.
Oh, okay.
Was the motherfucking man, but he introduced new wave technically to the Detroit inner city. Mm-hmm. Because what no other black DJ playing Two-Way Army, playing Visage, playing Ultravox, Trans Europe Express. He every fucking night. And the thing is, he make Trans Europe Express go for like 20 fucking minutes.
We be looking at black kids like, you ain't never heard of what? Where are you from?
Yeah, where are you from? I'm like, I'm from Detroit. So I know Mojo has some classic radio moments there on YouTube. Yeah. Hell, Run DMC came to Detroit and was in the studio with Mojo. How about that?
Nice.
In the early 80s. This was the rock box era, because he was, doing the scratch and mix and all this other stuff. But it was called that. Sly, you could actually, Kraftwerk, Cybertron, Model 500. Sly, you could actually get a card. It's called a Midnight Funk Association card, and you would have to go down to the radio station and get it. Nice. And you can use it at record stores and all this other stuff to get discounts off of goods off of black businesses. Okay. That, you know what I mean? Yeah. Oh. That's the Detroit I grew up in.
Okay. Good stuff.
But bye, bro. I'm sorry for holding y'all up. Thank all y'all for showing up. Planet Patrol, Ohio Funk, Kraftwerk, Cybertron. Yup. Model 500. Yup. That's it. That's the stuff. Thanks, Sly.
Hey, thank you. Y'all have a good night. Peace.